Yeah, he largely seems to just focus on his own thoughts, his own feelings. He doesn't quite fully understand other people's feelings. Good timing. I want to talk a little bit about cancellations and how can they actually play out? How can they actually have the power that people think they have? Largely, it's by building yourself up on a or where a public figure builds himself on a platform of being a specific way, and then information comes out where they're not so honest with their public opinions. And something came across my feed that was kind of funny regarding that. There was a Vtuber who the original time this was posted was about, I think it was October 2021. But before I actually get into what was widely publicly being discussed on Twitter, I'm going to show a 2-minute clip. And it will become relevant as we get into this.
Hello, my name is Poppy on the Twitch.tv platform, and I'm here to show you 3 easy steps on what to do after getting canceled. Uh-oh, it seems you might have messed up. Somebody found out something you did, and they're not very happy. Well, worry not, friend. I'm here to protect you and give you the opportunity to protect yourself.
Step 1!
DDV. Deny, deflect, victim blame. Well, when you fuck up, the first thing you need to do is deny that you did anything wrong, deflect everything they say, and blame them because it's their fault. Couldn't be your fault. They're just trying to deplatform you. How dare!
Step 2!
Cherry pick. Cherry pick your DMs
Just gonna say, epic foreshadowing here.
on everything that they have evidence on that could probably hurt you, and pick only things that see you in a positive light, because it's not they got to pick what they show, so you have every right to pick what you show the community.
Step 3!
Damage control, half-ass apology, and hiatus.
Unironically, Joestar, this dude sounds like King from Owl House. I can't get that picture out of my head. It is fucking wild. And this dude is a Twitch partner. He's got like 30,000 followers on Twitch right now. Or at least last I checked. He had 20,000 followers on Twitter, but he deleted it. And we'll get into why he deleted it after this. We're about halfway through.
Damage control everything you've said and done, and apologize in a maybe not so honest way, or in a way that you're not really sorry, and then go on a 2-week hiatus. Bury that head in the sand, you coward.
And step D!
Business as usual.
Is this supposed to be a parody or a legit this clip? This, I don't know how legit it was. It seems like 100% a shit post from 2 years ago that happened to be resurfaced, and it's just kind of funny, especially given the full context of stuff that's less funny.
Usual. After you've hid your head in the sand like a coward, little cry baby, now it's time to go live as if nothing ever happened. So, you know, people probably forgot or moved on to the next person that they're burning at the stake. As long as your ass is covered, you're fine.
And extra credit step!
Like and retweet the video. More power to me, baby. Mwah!
No, like and share my stream. So this came across my feed from a tweet person, Twitch and YouTube partner Duper, tweeting, "Did you hear who got canceled. Now, before Poppy himself got quote-unquote canceled, he released a Google document about his ex-partner, and a lot of people saw that and they enjoyed Poppy's content, so they were deferential to him. We're about to go through it, and then we're going to see the response to it. So right here, we got Poppy's statement. Hey guys, Poppy here. It is with a heavy heart that I'm forced to detail the events of my previous partner to the public. It is apparent that there are active attempts, which will be detailed below, to ruin my livelihood. In this document, you will hear not only my experience, but also the experiences of other individuals who have consented to their evidence being shown here. Mythic Sites is actively trying to ruin my career, and I just want this harassment to stop and for her to leave me alone. Please do not send any hate to her or anyone mentioned in the document below. This is just a recollection of events recollection of events as I, as well as other individuals, have experienced. Abusive behaviors. It was evident for a while towards the end of our relationship that Mythic was a paranoid individual, and I would do my best to provide reassurance. Below are some examples of Mythic attempting to solicit evidence from various colleagues post-breakup under the impression that she thought I would be bad-mouthing her. Mythic talking to someone known as Aspen Frost. Is he shit-talking me? So Skeleton Man's is the good bean? No. Skeleton Man is not a good bean, in my opinion. From what I have seen, because I have gone through quite a bit of this before going through stream. Why do you gotta post such a small screenshot? I wanted to know how much shit is being talked about me right now. I got blindsided and it's just fucked. All I know is everyone is doing their best to move on and be happy, and I really hate watching two people I consider friends hurting like this. I don't deserve the way I was treated, and people don't deserve to be harassed. His behavior is not okay. I'm sorry I even asked about that and put you on the spot. That was not okay of me and feeling in the dark. I hope things have been well on your end. How does that show abusive behavior? I mean, yeah, post-breakup, who wouldn't want to know if somebody is actively shit-talking them or not? We gotta be a little more substantive with this, don't we? As well as a previous partner. Hi there, I hope you're having a wonderful day. My name is Mythic, and if you are comfortable, I would like to talk to you about any negative experiences you may have had with Poppy Fubar, an alt name for Poppy the Lich King. Please reach out to me on Discord if you would like to talk. I tried to reach out via Discord, but I couldn't find you, I guess. So after a little digging, and here's the thing. Breakups suck. I've been common denominator in online breakups in the past. It sucks. Oh, yeah. I can relate to that. It sucks being the friend that people go to when people break up, and then you're getting both sides of the stuff, and it's rough. It's rough. Nobody wins, and it can be hard to move on, and while I had my moments with Poppy in the past, I wasn't innocent either. I had moments where I was unfair to him and made him doubt himself. At the end of the day, the fault of the relationship is on two people, and unfair for it to get dragged on months after its end. Cancel culture is gross, dude. On top of that, it is incredibly unfair to your new partner to be living in the shadow of someone from the past. My best advice is to move on, because nobody wins that kind of thing. There were instances where she displayed excessive jealousy. Below are examples I have of this behavior occurring. She started resenting sex workers. You were that middle person once? Yeah, it's not fun. She started resenting sex workers because I have many friends who specialize in 18 plus content creation. She would often ridicule them and force me to unfollow those friends. Ew, I heard that bitch's voice as Red Claws alert, and I never dipped so fast. Screw that. How? Okay, that's out of context. It doesn't explain your side, dude. Here are other various accounts of her jealous behavior. Hope your day is going okay. Trying people, enjoyed people being simps. I don't want to be around any of the flirting. I pop in and it's always down bad bitches. I'm just done. I don't have any control of how people act. I'm just making content. What is the context for that? Is it for in his stream where people were being bad down bitches or down bad bitches for him? And then the partner was like, yeah, I'm kind of uncomfortable with that. Because what's wrong with that? You and Blank's DMs, honey, I love you. Blank has just been a homie similar to Apple. I don't know like any of these people. Shrimping for this other person, not a goddamn chance, baby. I love you. Shrimping for blank art again. To the point where even if I liked art, if it was lewd by nature, I was interrogated. Who's all going to be there? Who's going to be there? Who's the chick? I kind of see the jealousy part. Is it worth the full-on document call-out? Because we're already like 7-8 pages through this document. I was afraid to work with people or even get rated in by some of my friends who were lewd tubers. I felt isolated. Your chick, I remember, you still followed them well into our relationship. You know, something I would have been uncomfortable with, yet you did it anyways. Yeah, what other girls like that do you follow them? TikTok full of them? Yeah, I'm out. Go follow your porn stars. Like in a relationship where you're talking about how you're uncomfortable and you set the boundaries of, hey, maybe I don't like you flirting with these YouTubers. I get that. So far with this document, Poppy hasn't really shown that they've been in like an open relationship or anything. He's just calling her jealous and stuff. She's actively stalked my following list. Would wait and stalk Twitch chats to see if I'd be there. More of her stalker behavior. Would wait in stalk Twitch chats to see if I would be there. I'm gonna be honest, that sounds very paranoid behavior. Like, you think she's only in people's Twitch chats to see if you're there? It's coming up. I'm getting paranoid flags right now. Whatever, fine, hang up. Sorry, I don't look like cosplay girls you follow. If you keep this up, I'm done. Oh, and you're referring to Blank, who has been a famous TikToker since the beginning of TikTok. I forgot I even followed her. But that's besides the point. You stalking my following list makes me incredibly uncomfortable. For my old TikTok account, mind you, I don't even use it anymore. I don't know. Yeah, I'm agreeing. This sounds very controlling. There were many accounts of individuals coming to inform me that I did not pay Mythic for any of the art I had commissioned from her. And when she was corrected, the story changed to I was not paid enough. Below are the various payments to Mythic regarding all assets and illustrations created for me for everything I've commissioned her from. Or commissioned from her. Yeah, these are receipts, and I respect that he's not sharing that info. That's very good. He's paying a lot, though. That's a lot of money. Multiple times a month, too. Wow. Whenever we often discussed payment, she would always tell me that I'd been paying her too much, only to find out she would disclose to many individuals that I didn't pay her for specific projects when the majority of what was given was gift art. I've always strived to report with the majority of the artists strived for a good report with the majority of artists I've worked with. I always credit them and tip them when I can. Okay, my problem with the art payment claims is you're saying these claims have been made, but I'm not seeing what's it? I'm not actually seeing the claims, I'm just seeing the payments being made. So like I don't know. Oh yeah, this document had been updated when the response document came out. Transphobic allegations. It has been brought to my attention that there is audio recordings of me saying hateful things that are genuinely out of character. Although I cannot change the things I have said in the past, I have acknowledged and grown from them. I have become a very loud advocate for the LGBT community, as well as an active member of the community. There are so many important individuals close to me that identify as trans or non-binary, and I would never dare to disrespect anyone like that anymore. As a Black Hispanic pansexual man, I know how it feels to be discriminated against. I've donated thousands of dollars on behalf of me and my teams for the LGBT, for example, the Trevor Project. Now, this will come back later. We will return to this because this is his response to the transphobia allegations, and I think they carry a decent amount of weight. Miscellaneous allegations. For those that are unaware, I've manufactured a rude internet persona, but that's just a shtick I pull for my career. It's acting. As VTuber VTubing derived from idol culture is very much built upon acting as a persona. I play off being the big bad wolf. Feelings can get hurt, but if it's brought to my attention, I always address each situation with the utmost sensitivity and care that it deserves. There are some miscellaneous claims that have been brought to my attention, and I'd like to touch base con. Okay. Firstly, there are claims that I allow minors to engage with my community on Twitch. My channel strictly follows similar guidelines to that of TV14 channel guidelines. That means that my channel is not 18 plus content. The only 18 plus contents areas I own is my Discord channel. I have been very meticulous to ban minors on site, as their safety is very much my priority. Now, I will say that you can't really prevent minors from seeing your content, whether you like it or not, for like Twitch streams. That said, if you're going to be regularly making raunchy, super edgy jokes, I don't think that's the kind of stuff that you should be, exposing kids to that might not understand irony or why certain jokes are actually funny. Because if you can't explain why your jokes are punching up, then you're probably punching down with your jokes, right? Yeah, ultimately it is on their parent to make sure their kids are, watching stuff appropriate for them. I've been bad to my peers? ? I play a little rough with my crowd. It's how I entertain. I even added this to my bio so that no one gets the wrong idea. Mostly satire. Huh. How raunchy? What level? I'm not exactly sure, but I have spoken with some people that have watched his stuff for a bit, and he's kind of like, what's it? He'll make edgy, off-the-cuff kinds of jokes, but then is kind of like playing it off as just a joke. I don't really have a whole lot of specifics off the top of my head, but we will get into... Oh, Aspen made a statement. But we will get into the responses to this. Poppy's summary. At the end of this relationship, I had tried to remain friends whilst working out the rougher details with Mythic. I later blocked her as I found it disrespectful and distasteful to see her and another close friend of mine engaging in intimate behavior in front of my face and community. Bro, this is wild to me, because, like, you are broken up. Be a fucking adult. If you don't want them engaging, if you don't want to see that behavior, that's fine. Do you got to make an entire fucking call-out document about it? Now, I didn't even see what Mythic was trying to do that, or what Mythic was doing that inspired the inspired Poppy to make this document in the first place. But a lot of people did jump on. Oh, thank you, Bale. I really appreciate that. Where was I? Yeah, there was a lot of people that jumped to Poppy's side because they only ever really knew Poppy. They didn't know about the other people. Or they didn't really know the people that ended up coming out against Poppy in the future. I was forced to no longer interact with a ton of my friends because of this abuse. I was treated incredibly unfair for just being a creator. I wish to apologize to people I had to distance myself from, just to appease her. When relationships end, it gets messy and it's no one's business, and yet it's public now. But now that she is actively trying to harm my reputation and livelihood, I can no longer remain quiet. Thank you for those who have taken the time to read this, and for those who have been manipulated by the narrative that she has spun. I wish you the best. Conclusion, don't attack her, don't come after her. I wish her the best. I only wish to be left alone. I'm hurt and I wish to heal. Boy, we're going to get into Aspen's statements now. I didn't know... I guess they've added to this, because when I had checked it out last, there wasn't that. Aspen Frostian's statement. I am compiling these statements in defense of Poppy, formerly known as Poppy Fubar. I initially began contact with Mythic sites on October of 2022. Our friendship primarily consisted of her sharing details about her relationship with Poppy. Not sure what to do. I don't want to make him more upset. He loves you very much. You just need to be there for him or give him the space he needs. That's contradictory. You know him better than we do, but no matter what, you are important and you bring him comfort, not pain. I'm not sure about that sometimes. Oh, is there any reason why you think that, or just worried? I just heck up a lot. You're human, and he's probably going to do stuff he won't normally do when he's upset. No one can expect you to know exactly what to say every time. The fact that you're there for him and stick with him through thick and thin means a lot. I promise. Being there for him, however way you think is best that you can do. You may not have all the answers, but be willing to listen and validate his feelings helps so much. Unfortunately, most of our communication occurred in voice calls and group chats that were left undocumented. In hindsight, I feel like that was intentional. I never intended to go public with this information and did not keep proper documentation of it. The ones involved in that document, Mythic sites, Spoodle, Owl.arts, and Dr. Sakuse, were some of my closest friends prior to the dissolving of the relationship of Poppy and Mythic sites. The accounts of my experiences with them will be a blend of secondhand retellings and my own memories. I suffer from a medically recognized condition called dissociative identity disorder, which creates amnesia barriers to protect my brain from trauma. Therefore, many of my memories of this event have been scattered across multiple altars that I will remain nameless for privacy reasons. Been tabbed out. Which Poppy is this about? This is about Poppy the Lich King. Give me 1 second, actually. Twitch. Yeah, he's being called out for being transphobic. Boop. Oh, I'm still following her on Twitch. Wild. But yeah, this Poppy the Lich King, previously known as Poppy Fubar. Nunya, I already did record the MatPat segment, so I don't know, in the comments of that video.
Hello!
What? Oh. What the fuck? That was autoplaying. Okay, the accounts of my experience with them will be a blend of secondhand. I went through that. If you need a colloquial or brief explanation of my disorder, its causes, and its symptoms, I've attached a link to a card. Do keep in mind that this is not a complete medical reference guide and is meant to be a simplification as told by another DID system with my condition. Yeah, that that hello scared me. Oh my god. Oh no, it's somebody that that I was following on Twitch. I didn't realize I was still following them because like they blocked me on Twitter and I just never unfollowed their Twitch because I rarely ever use Twitch. I'm not composing these statements to harm Mythic Sites and her career. I have already been apologized to for the overwhelming pile of emotional stress that she put me under, and I hold no malice or resentment for her in my heart for her. I am writing this in advance just in case I am brought up during any of her attempts to come after my friend and mentor, Poppy. Aspen says, I doubt it. You never know until you talk to him. The longer you wait, the worse it's going to be. Mythic responds, he said he thinks it wasn't working, and I can't fight him on that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to do this to you every time. It's not fair to you. I will always support him, and thank you, Aspen. Aspen replies, we're here for you. Please talk to him. Apologize to him for everything explicitly. If you're reading this, Mythic Spoodle or Dr. Sakusei, I still love you. I just couldn't handle the negativity, the jealousy, and the drama in my life. The resentment towards Poppy that was demonstrated throughout the relationships we had has crippled me mentally and emotionally. I couldn't recognize you anymore, even though you were once my closest friends. The only thing I ask for is for all of you to leave Poppy and I alone. I have seen the meddling you have done in my personal relationships and my career, and I have been approached about it by a few of my friends. I do not and did not want to be involved. I do not appreciate how you have made me guilty by association. To those hurt and blindsided, I apologize for my deafening silence. Poppy and I both wanted to keep all of this quiet and under wraps as possible. We wanted it to be over, and we shared nothing even with our closest friends. But after seeing Mythic's attempts to drag both me and him privately and publicly, we couldn't remain silent anymore. I have dissolved the community we founded together silently, Community Mashup, to prevent more people from being hurt by or dragged into your resentment. With the prerequisite information out of the way, here is my account of the traumatic events I experienced while I was in contact with Mythic, Spoodle, Dr. Sakuse, and Owl Doll Arts. On November 20th, I was pulled into a voice call with Mythic, Spoodles, Dr. Sakuse, and Owl to discuss Poppy and his alleged abusive behavior. I did not record this Discord call as I was not given explicit permission from all parties involved. So I'm in a place where Canada is a one-party consent recording state. So if I'm in a call with somebody and I feel it necessary to record it, I can record it no matter where they're from, because that's how the law works here, where I'm accessing the internet from. That said, I don't know where Aspen is from. I don't know where Poppy is from. I don't know the legality regarding that. But I know with Canadian law, it's okay to do it, as far as I'm aware. I'm not a lawyer, so don't fully quote me on that. During this lengthy, multiple-hour call, the following occurred. I was shown an illegally recorded phone call between Mythic Sites and Poppy. I will be going over this, and FYI, Mythic Sites is Canadian. So, just saying. In which Poppy was upset with me. This was a conversation between two people who were in a lengthy, committed romantic relationship at the time. Everything said was in anger and not reflective of his true beliefs of me. Not to mention, he had previously apologized multiple months in advance directly for the things he said about me in that private phone call, long before I was informed of it by any third party. So the recordings that I heard, they didn't have anything to do with Aspen. Maybe I heard wrong or something. We'll find out. We'll find out. It was claimed that I, a legal adult, was being groomed by Poppy. When I brought up that nothing even remotely sexual or romantic had occurred between me and Poppy, my autism diagnosis was cited as a reason why I am incapable of deciphering his intentions. I will say that just because somebody does have autism doesn't mean they don't lose the autonomy to make their own decisions regarding the people they interact with. You're still free to do that, at least in my book. It was also implied that I am not mentally mature enough to be considered an adult with my own agency who can make choices about how I engage with people. Again, you do you. Doesn't matter to me if you're on the spectrum or not, or how far on the spectrum. I really don't care. It doesn't take away your agency. You can hang out with whoever you want. I was told, with no evidence or proof, that Poppy is transphobic. When I asked, the recordings that I heard let me understand why people are calling him transphobic, and we will get there. When I asked questions, such as an explanation for the over $40,000 that was raised by Poppy and his team raised for the Trevor Project, and his closest friends all being non-binary or gender non-conforming, it was dismissed as performative with no evidence of previous alleged transphobia. Mythic claimed that she was not paid for any of the work on the art. I don't know anything about this claim whatsoever specifically. I know about the other stuff, really. Work on the artwork, models, and overlays that she made for Poppy. When I mentioned that Poppy did in fact pay her, she claimed that she was not paid enough. Previous to this conversation, I already been shown payment receipts by Poppy and screenshots of the amounts of money requested by Mythic for her artwork. Not only was Mythic paid, she was tipped handsomely. Of course, I may have said things that I regret in that phone call. I cannot recall all of the details due to my amnesia barriers, and I am not a perfect person. I had moments where I was upset with Poppy, but through questioning and failures to provide proper receipts, I have come to the conclusion that the entire conversation was intended to upset me, elicit trauma responses, and ultimately have me turn my back on Poppy, or who, throughout our entire friendship, has been nothing but supportive to me, my endeavors, and has gone out of his way to maintain a professional relationship with us, between us. Knowing Mythic Site's history of illegally recording phone conversations, I would not be surprised if our conversation is recorded and stored. If this conversation is shared privately or publicly, consider this my official statement, as I do not consent to that phone call being shared. Doing so at this point could only be with the intent to cause harm, which is illegal. I mean, it could be releasing the statement in order to, or releasing it in its entirety to prove what actually happened in that call, because right now all there is hearsay. Poppy would also like to make it known that he resides in a two-party consent state and will be pressing charges if any audio or recordings are shared publicly or privately past the date of this document being posted. For the others mentioned, Dr. Sakuse, Spoodle, Owldoll, they are victims of Mythic Site's manipulation. I hope after the dust clears, we can be friends again someday. My heart is still scarred from the vitriol you have demonstrated towards me. After everything I have given to you and the community, I trusted that you would have had more faith in me. But despite everything, I know time will heal us all, and I hope we can all learn from this experience. As of December 15th, I have blocked communication with all involved parties, regardless of if they directly intended to cause harm or not. I want to be rid of this. I never want to speak of this, and I do not want to associate with those who have spread anything about me or Poppy, privately or publicly. I refuse to try and fight for a place in a community and group of friends where I am not respected. You go have a good shower. Thanks for popping by. For now, please leave me alone. If any other documents or rebuttals are posted, I will not be reading them. I said my piece. I cleared the air. My statement is independent from the other part of this document, and I have no intention to stir the pot or have any social or career damage come from my statement. I need my remaining friends and my community to know that about what has been going on with me for these past few months. I'm going to continue what I do best: stream, make content, and outreach to other communities. So yeah, that document got posted, and a lot of people were jumping on the Mythic Sites is bad because they looked up to Poppy, they thought he was funny, they saw him as a bigger creator, someone to look up to. And then Mythic Sites released a document with a bunch of other people. And this had been sent to me. Mythic Sites tweeting out, multiple people had actually linked to this document. I will not be threatened into silence. Adding the account, you can see his account is currently deleted. No longer exists. Actually, I'm going to show that after I go through this document. Poppy the Lich King, formerly known as Poppy Fubar. Content warning: verbal abuse, gaslighting, transphobia, and emotional manipulation. This document is a compilation of evidence and testimony of Poppy's actions and treatment of those in his community and social circles. A lot of people are accessing this. I literally can't even export it to save a copy. which I happen to actually do with Poppy's document, just in case he deleted it. But luckily, what I just went through was not deleted. It was still out there. This document was created in response to Poppy the Lich King's attempt to deplatform and intimidate mythic sites into silence. Please read everything to understand all of the context. This is not a call to action. We are here to give our side. And I am here not to inspire harassment towards anybody involved. I'm here to find out what the fuck is actually going on, trying to see this through a reasonable lens. Poppy has taken advantage of and manipulated many streamers and community members exhibiting abusive behavior, language, and ideals. Throughout his career and many opportunities for change, Poppy has proven time and time again that he is two-faced, will actively take advantage of those he can use, and exploit them as much as possible. We do not condone harassment of Poppy or anyone else associated with him. This document's purpose is to inform others of his behaviors and actions and give our statements on our side of the story regarding Poppy the Lich King. We will not name any further parties involved by censoring their names. We would also like to ask you to respect the anonymity of redacted parties, which I definitely would like to lean towards. If people don't want to be have this stuff brought up in public, pretty cool. Fine by me. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to go out of my way to try and make private things public for the sake of content. I will talk about stuff that's already made public, like this. The legal threat. Hey, at Mythic Sites, please leave me alone. Stop harassing me and my friends. And there is the link to the document we just went through. On January 3rd, 2024, Poppy released a document on Twitter meant to discredit, deplatform, and silence Mythic Sites. The link is currently dead because he's deleted his Twitter, and that document, we just went through it. This document reads as rushed out amateur attempt to get ahead of Mythic and anyone else intending to come out about their abusive experience with Poppy if they ever wanted to. It had nearly no evidence at all. I wouldn't say it had no evidence. I would say the evidence, a lot of what they presented didn't necessarily argue their case in a definitive way, so to speak. Privately and publicly, the document was received extremely critically, with most seeing it as nothing but hot air. Though I did see a handful of people being like, "Oh, I'm sorry this happened to you, Poppy. Why can't people be normal?" kind of thing. And then Mythic's statement came out and people were like, "Oh, maybe we shouldn't jump on the first thing to come out. Maybe we should see what both sides have to actually say." It was an attempt from Poppy to slander and silence a victim of his abuse in order to save face. Oh, and there's the highlighted. Poppy would like to make it known that he resides in a two-party consent state and will be pressing charges if any audio or recordings are shared publicly or privately past the date of this document being posted. So, yeah. Guess what? Those are in this document. They did go ahead and post them. Within this document, Poppy legally threatened Mythic, saying he would press charges if she released the audio recording she took. Days later, he would double down. After speaking with my lawyer, if my stalker or her friends decide to continue slandering me or retaliating in any way, I will press charges, which can land 5 years in federal prison or a $250,000 fine. This is the last I will speak on her. I think it was the last that he actually did speak on Mythic directly, but he did release a statement before deleting his Twitter. Thankfully, I had the foresight to screenshot that, so we will see how he responded to this. Originally, he claimed he would press charges if audio evidence was released, but in this tweet, he changes his story. He now claims he will press charges if we do anything at all. Which, yeah, if they decide to continue slandering me or retaliating in any way, so people just can't talk up about their problems with people? No, I'm okay with people making it public that there's somebody exhibiting actually harmful and abusive behavior. We will get into why I think this document does get into why I think he does hold some negative bias beliefs, and why I do think he's got problems. The idea that only he has the right to tell his side of the story, and that all of his victims or opposition should be threatened into silence, is revolting behavior. It also changes the goalposts for his legal attacks. This threat holds no water. Poppy very likely has not contacted a real lawyer at all. If he did, they would have informed Poppy that this would never go through in a court of law. First of all, the two-party consent law is within the state of California. Mythic does not live in the same country as Poppy. Mythic resides in Canada, which follows a one-party consent law. This law pertains to the call, not pertains to the one recording the call, not the other way around. Mythic is completely within her right to record any voice call if she feels she needs to. And yes, you can also record phone calls with your literal employer, like your boss. If you feel that your boss is regularly, actively mistreating you, and you want to get evidence of that in Canada, you can. You don't have to tell them you're recording them. You can just do it in Canada. And the way, as to my understanding, the way these laws work, it's not the law that matters is of the person accessing the internet. So like in Poppy's case, the law that matters, or not in Poppy's case, in Mythic's case, the one party consent law is what would be applying, because that's where she is accessing the internet from and, doing this. Again, I am no lawyer, so take that with a grain of salt. Actually consult legal advice if you're getting into legal situations. According to Section 183.1 of the Criminal Code of Canada, you can record any call as long as at least one person in the conversation consents to the recording taking place. So yeah, like if I was in a call with one other person, I need to be the only person that is cool with it recording for the recording to be legal. It's just how it works with Canada. Additionally, these were not phone calls, these were voice chats on Discord. Discord does not have any policy or terms restricting the recording of voice chats, public or private. In fact, there is a thing with Discord where you have to opt out of letting people be able to clip you through Discord in voice chats. Like, I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but you literally, you have to opt out of letting people use that clip functionality. Personally, I don't care. I expect everything to get leaked. I consider myself an authentic person. I'm not building myself up as a trans right advocate and then talking shit about trans people in the background. Epic foreshadowing, by the way. Is it legal to record Discord calls? The legality of recording Discord calls will vary depending on your unique situation. However, in most cases, it is legal to record Discord calls in the US as long as at least one party of the call consents to the recording. Given the international nature of these recordings and the lack of any restriction on recording through Discord, this entire case would be thrown out if Poppy were to be abstinent enough to try and go after Mythic. Not only is this threat completely baseless, it is also damning evidence that Poppy knows exactly how his community will react to hearing these recordings. If Poppy truly had no reason to fear the claims against him of abuse and transphobia, he would not need to bully and intimidate Mythic to keep quiet about it. He is publicly trying to intimidate Mythic and others into silence, while also priming people to the notion that Mythic can't be trusted, so they will not listen to her side or work with her in the future. So FYI, this is a very long document. There's 96 pages, and it's a lot more than just Mythic's statement. There is very, very much to go through. And, well, we're going through it. Hi everyone, it's Mythic Sites. Thank you for being so patient with me while I gathered my statement. Due to what has been publicly posted about me, I'm here to provide further context and explain why I do not associate with Poppy the Lich King and Aspen Frosty N. I do not condone any harassment of Poppy, Aspen, or anyone that is associated with them. Please listen to my side and come to your own conclusion. I am not a perfect person by any means, but I try my best to admit when I am wrong. I had also developed a habit of blaming myself, which was very unhealthy. Over the almost 2-year course of my and Poppy's relationship, yes, I would get jealous and angry over time with Poppy's flirty interactions with people. I had reasons to think he would try to cheat or sneak around on me because he had done that in the past. More on that in the section on Poppy's cheating behavior. I became more bitter with my own boundaries being constantly disrespected, and I would snap in frustration, which was not okay of me and happened way too often. I should not have stuck around for so long when this relationship had clearly become toxic and harmful for both parties. We were both at fault here. Immediately, the vibe I'm getting, where it's like one person can be, or where both people in a relationship can be problematic, and then they kind of feed into each other, and the real harm there is not recognizing that there's the problem and then not addressing it. Y'all know that Poppy's going to be seen as a martyr for the transphobes? Maybe? He's deleted his account off Twitter, so we'll see. Maybe people will rally behind him that way. But from what I've seen, most people have been coming out as like fully against this type of behavior. There were many times in our relationship where we would break up and get back together. We would end up on call, and by the end of that call, we would be back together. This unhealthy cycle went on for too long, and didn't have to be public. Relationships can get messy. I agree. I don't think this needed to be made public. It really seemed like one person was getting... Well, I mean, some people have been made martyrs, Lambat, so to speak, in ways. Like, people made Pick-a-Me into a martyr. When there's literally no reason to, and, well, you could make a case for Poppy, I guess, if you're really one of those people. We're going to get into it. So, addressing the reaching out to mutuals. After the final breakup, I reached out to some mutuals because I had heard Poppy was making accusations about me and my character, which had hurt me and caused me to panic. I felt like I was isolated and I was desperate for answers when I wasn't given proper communication. However, I should have never reached out and put them in that position in the first place. That was wrong of me. My curiosity got the best of me and I regretted that immediately. I even apologized for this behavior the day later that day. Blank, I need to know how much shit is being talked about me right now. I got blindsided and it's just fucked. All I know is everyone is doing their best to move on, be happy, and I really hate watching two people I consider friends hurting like this. I don't deserve the way I was treated and people don't deserve to be harassed. His behavior is not okay. I'm sorry I even asked about that and put you on the spot. That was not okay of me and I was just feeling in the dark. I hope things have been well on your end. I had a mutual friend tell me that a previous partner of his had a similar experience. I was given a name and encouraged to reach out to see if this behavior was a pattern. Poppy tries to use this against me. Okay, and this was posted in Poppy's document. I only ever reached out to warn a very small number of people out of concern because they were either someone I had really cared about or someone talked very poorly by Poppy often. I had people specifically approach me wanting to dig for information. I had recently learned that I cannot trust some people in this community as some of them immediately went to Poppy, if not sent by him in the first place. And now with somebody with like Poppy's scale where he's got tens of thousands of people under him, I guess, it's really hard to tell who is actually going to be a friendly face and who is just trying to buddy up to you in order to get some damning evidence to make you look even worse. Guess who? Hello. Hi, Queen. I missed you so much. I heard what happened a bit, and I'm so sorry. I'm experiencing a little similar, so I know how it is. Mythic replies, oh, you're so sweet. Oh, did you hear? What did you hear, if you don't mind me asking? They respond, Spoodle filled me in a little bit without revealing much about the ban and stuff. Oh. But I'm here for you if you ever need support. Yeah, it is what it is. I plan to reach out to him like next time he streamed, but I guess not. I'm done being treated like how I was. God, same. Another person, but I get it. I understand if people still want to be cordial. No, I'm so sorry you had to go through something similar. I'm going through it right now, lol. Oh, rip. Man, times be tough for everybody. Hey, I'm here for you. I had to call him out on Twitter and found out I'm not the only one he seems to treat like this. Thank you. We're tough. Yes, if you want to call, we can do that. Lol, I can spill my tea. You spill yours if you want, lol. I'm just done with him. They had even posted under Poppy's document how I had approached them first, despite this clearly not being the case, further turning the narrative in Poppy's favor. Yeah, you can see who sent the first DM there. Excuse me. Okay. Aspen had come to Spoodle with concerns about Poppy and asked to be pulled into a call. I agreed and showed her an audio of Poppy verbally abusing me, where he named Aspen specifically in it. See the section of verbal abuse for further context on this audio. And yes, I will be playing those audios. Yeah, when I did start getting into this document, I put out that trigger warning, and I will be issuing another trigger warning before we actually get into that audio, just to make sure people are aware. This is not light stuff to be talking about. It's pretty rough. So, from Spoodle, hey Mythic, Aspen is asking to be brought up to speed on stuff Poppy's done for her own safety. Would you be comfortable with joining Aspen, Owl, and I on a call after my stream? What has she been told? I'd want to make sure she's emotionally and mentally ready to hear this stuff. So if she has other stuff piling on right now, I'd want to wait. Basically, she's becoming more aware of his abusive tendencies and wants to be brought up to speed on what we know for her own safety because she's worried for herself. All right. If you're comfortable with it, I'll start the call with you, Aspen, Owl, and I once I'm finished with the boys. I'm just so terrified of things getting back to Poppy. It will not. Aspen's sworn to it. All right, I trust you. Hug, hug. I had not spoken publicly about the situation, and Poppy made it sound like I was messaging everyone I had known to slander his name or dig for dirt. This was not the case. I was on a path of healing and wanted to be more positive. Like, yeah, I would say there are definitely more different ways that different avenues Mythic could have pursued if she wanted to be more destructive with what she was doing, with what she's saying, and I personally think she's phrasing herself quite well here. The screenshots below are examples of myself interacting with mutuals after the events of the breakup. Hope you're doing well. OMG, it's good to hear from you. I'm doing okay, just taking things day at a time. How have you been? Good. Tired right now and a bit sick, but good otherwise. Been super busy. Just wanted to check in on you and see how you were. Oh no, I hope you feel better soon. Kick cold in the balls. I'm definitely going to kick it in the balls. I'm in the up and up, so I think that's far at least. How everything been with you? How are you at taking things day by day? Everything okay? Yeah, just dealing with IRL stress and healing from being treated certain ways. But I'm doing okay, so there's no need to worry. It was awesome seeing you the other day, December 2nd. Okay, so this is like a month later. It was amazing to see you. I missed you. I really hope things have been getting so much better for you. I tried sending the message on Discord, but it wouldn't go through. I'm doing a lot better now, and I'm sorry if I worried you. I'm being treated so much better now and getting back into the swing of things. I'm ready to kick ass. What you up to? Hugs. I'm just glad you're okay. I was wondering what happened when I hadn't heard from you in so long. I'm really glad to hear you're getting treated better. Actually, it's a huge relief. I honestly thought I did something to offend you. No. You never did anything wrong. You have been nothing but sweet to me. To be blunt, I just can't be around Poppy anymore for my own good. I'll be back stronger than ever. Just wait. It was so nice to see you streaming again, by the way. One more screenshot. So what's up with you? Also, by the way, eventually I want to get a new doll for my updated look. Mythic says, I've been getting back on track. It was a little rough finding out there was talk going on behind my back, but it is what it is. And OMG, ooh, if you do, I'll give you a discount to update it. That sucks. But from your post on Twitter, it sounds like things are going better, so I'm happy for you. Yeah, putting more focus on more productive things and surrounding myself with a more positive environment has made a world of difference. Dude, it feels so good to do that. I'm still dealing with a lot of bullshit, but it makes it easier to deal with. That sucks. I hope it gets easier. It will. I have high hopes. I try to surround myself with people I don't have to try to be. I try to surround myself with people I don't have to try to be around. I like people who are easy to vibe with. Honestly, life is stressful enough. Poppy also showed no substantial proof that I was trying to slander his name in his own document. Yeah, that was kind of left there. I'm just saying, once we get to the audio files, which is obviously a trigger warning, by the way, it would be a great time for me to head out. Give me a heads up once we get there. Yeah, I can do that. I'm just seeing how far much down do we go. Because we do have more screens to go through. This is a 96-page document. There's a lot of screenshots. Okay, down there where it shows the content warning, verbal abuse, and then right below it, I think, a little bit around there, there's at least 2 audio recordings. Oh shit, I should have paid attention to what page I was on. Right here. We're on to the sex workers part. Yay! I want to make this clear. My frustration and anger was directed at how Poppy interacted with certain people and the attention given to them, not those individuals themselves. I do semi-lewd content. I have suggestive jokes, draw suggestive art, and have publicly posted pictures of my body before. I have no problem with that overall content or people who pursue that. My problem stemmed from my boundaries and insecurities. I was promised transparency and felt like my relationship was mostly hidden when I wanted security. Yeah. Poppy was not okay with me flirting with others, and I expressed I wasn't comfortable with him being very flirty with other people as well. He also was not comfortable with the idea of me doing OnlyFans, and I respected it. Though these were our boundaries. Poppy, please don't ever do OnlyFans, lol. I just made a funny on stream. Context. He was live on stream talking about how he supported sex workers and had sent me this right after. I support sex workers as long as I'm not dating one. That's some sentiment you like to hear, right? Yeah. The anger and frustration from Poppy not respecting the same boundaries that I was expected of had manifested into emotionally charged comments when it felt like he wanted that kind of attention from other women, but not from me. I had similar language like that used to describe myself before, and know that it stings, yet I said those things anyways. I know in passing language this can be very hurtful, and even in anger this was absolutely not okay, and I take full responsibility. Lewd content comes with so much judgment and stigmas to be faced, and I had shown in those moments my security and doubt in my own relationship. I'm so sorry if any of those outbursts or language hurt my friends or anyone that pursues that kind of content. You do not deserve to be called anything derogatory like that. It was incredibly wrong of me, and I recognize that. I never want to become that person again. Or I never want to become that person ever again. So far, immediately, even though they did fuck up, they're owning it. They are being direct about what they did, what they had said, or at least the feelings expressed, and they recognize that people could be hurt from that. I'm not really seeing that I didn't really see that out of any of Poppy's stuff. It's the vibe I'm getting. In the beginning with Poppy, we had more trust and transparency about other people and how Poppy interacted with them. 2 screens. Load up. I appreciate you, baby. Lol, blank messaged me, lol, from Poppy. I said, you soft blocked me on Twitter, lol. Mythic replies, oh, yeah, what did she say? I'm just saying I don't hate her, and I didn't mean to hurt her, but she did all of this because she was jealous of me being horny on main for you, and I could care less. You satisfy my needs and make me feel loved and important more than anyone could. But I'm not, Mythic responds, but I'm not even the only one you're horny on main for, and I'm really happy I could do that for you. Quote tweet, I at you all the time. I know I'm weird and stuff. And I act up the worst. It was like a couple times on your post without any shame whatsoever. Moi, I like when you do. I love doing it. Thank you for telling me about it. I just hope things don't get all awkward. Oh, of course, communication is important. Well, I mean, wouldn't you rather know? I don't know. I find it respectful to kind of fill you in on that kind of stuff. So look at that. They are communicating, talking about their actual boundaries. That's what you want to see. Poppy was more open about telling people about our relationship, and my jealousy wasn't an issue at this time. I felt more secure in my relationship. However, this stopped, eventually changing with him going behind my back and being more secretive, to where I was hurt and paranoid about his intention. More on this later. Yes, I know we cannot control how people act, and I was upset that he would constantly entertain the flirting or rarely ask for it to be toned down. It was making me feel less secure in our relationship and acting toxic. Seeing him actively flirting with people on streams after I had expressed many times how I didn't like it, I would start becoming angry over it. It felt unfair, but that doesn't make my anger okay. I hope you can understand more why I acted that way. He was unwilling to change and my feelings were dismissed. He would say sorry or told me what I wanted to hear in reassurance to calm me down, and then continued this behavior later. It was another cycle. So I do get where Mythic is coming from with this. Because it really seems like boundaries had been set. They've been established. They've been agreed upon. And then it seems to go the other way. Eventually, I would also get asked to separate our relationship from work. I wasn't comfortable with this and would get upset. Are you being a pain because I'm doing my job and driving up interaction on my post? Because if I have to look over my shoulder to do my job, I'm going to be quite upset. Okay, go be weird with people. Lol, separate our relationship from my work, please. It is a bit of a pivot. It's a bit of a pivot, ain't it? You do what you want. Be pissed then. I'll be waiting till 2 a.m. to be your GF again. It seems like you don't understand that I'm working and can't separate the two again. And we're going to have serious issues again that could potentially end our relationship. Frustrated, it felt and looked to me like he wanted to use lewd tubers for flirting, sexual attention, and for their community, while hiding our relationship to many people who weren't close to him. He chose their attention over my feelings. Not exactly the choice you should make when you're in a relationship. Something a little more important than clout. I also want to add further context to one of the screenshots provided by Poppy. Ew, I heard that bitch's voice as blank alert and never dipped so fast. Screw that. This message was directed at someone Poppy told me he used to have a thing with before we were together. Oh, okay, so that makes sense. Like, so Mythic had heard somebody's voice as an alert, and it bothered her because that was the ex of her partner. So yeah, I get it. It's not the worst thing, honestly. Blank irritates the fuck out of me and made my life hell for like 3 weeks. I'm good, lol, okay, too bratty, I can't deal with it. She was made out to be an unkind person to me in the past, in DMs and calls. We have never actually spoken, but I would still like to apologize to her for even believing anything that Poppy had said about her. I jumped on that hate wagon and that was not okay. Oh boy, and here we get into the abusing the relationship for financial gain. When Poppy and I began this relationship, we did so with the established boundaries that I was not comfortable with him flirting with other people, and he was not comfortable with me flirting with others as well. At first, we respected the boundaries, but as time went on, Poppy began to push them further and further. What's worse is it became clear, as the recording below will show, he was doing this entirely for financial gain, leveraging the possibility of relationships with other creators in order to gain access to their communities and potential financial donations to his stream. Our relationship and my mental health meant less to him than what money he stood to gain. He would hide our relationship when interacting with other content creators for the express purpose of leaving the door open to the idea that they could have a relationship so he could take advantage of their parasocial behavior. He admits as much in the voice recording. We will listen to that. I did make sure to listen to these recordings before actually playing them on stream because, I don't know what's actually going to be TOS friendly, and I got to make sure I'm covering stuff. On to the jealousy segment. The jealousy was not one-sided. Poppy also has issues with jealousy and wasn't comfortable with me flirting with people, and I respected that. I don't flirt with my community. When it came to any men getting closer to me, Poppy didn't seem to like the idea. He also didn't like certain people simply interacting with me, even after I was open that I had a partner. Blank is getting fresh. I'm absurdly jealous. Guess that shows you how much I like you, lol. Mythic responds, you getting jealous doesn't make me feel so guilty about blank now. Blank wants art in the future, just to let you know. He would get jealous on people commenting on my posts as well. Poppy says, I saw blank posting on it. Me not being jealous or anything. Angry emoji. Blank is a homie. Has blank been a homie for a while, silly. I know, still a little jelly. So he's recognizing that he's being jealous. Yeah, that emote is actually really funny. I kind of like that. It's a shame the subject that we're talking about, though. That's less fun. He hitting on you. Lamau, you in blank chat. Yep. I'm honestly surprised. He says hi. He likes you. He wants that calm. Calm? He wanted a commission a while back. Yeah, something that Mythic had mentioned before. Man, I hate seeing these DMs. Yeah. Okay, I'm jealous of all the thirsty motherfuckers on that post. Which post, Kasut? The thighs one? Oh. He too would also ask about people who would message me. Yeah, we've got we've got more than enough screenshots to be going through. Yay. Okay, also, that guy keeps commenting on your shit. The one that hit up your DMs, what's his deal? They've called me a friend before, and I'm like, okay, question mark? The secondhand embarrassment you get from this is too much. Yeah, I get that. I really, really get that. Now I'm bringing the jealous one, lol. It's okay, baby. When's the last time he messaged? I think in April sometime. It's been a long time. I gotcha. He confronted me after he found out I was in a male Vtuber's chat who interacted with my posts. He was someone who knew I had a partner. Someone had messaged Poppy that I was there before. Our interactions in his streams were mainly the two of us making jokes about being Canadian. Blanked out, need this in my life. It's working. If I can get some more of the sussy people. He also said you visiting his streams during the sussiest moments to be like, yes, this is me. Then it did its job. Oh yeah, I tell him to quit being horny. I trust you, but this is not something you do normally at all. No, I've only been there like twice. Didn't sound like that, how he alluded it in the comments. I don't know what to tell you. Plus, they know I'm dating someone. People like him don't care if anyone is dating anyone. Well, that's pretty stupid. And I will say, with all the different lewd tubers that I have interacted with, that I've talked with, I've checked out their content, the majority of them are actually really, really, really big on the concept of consent. They actually really, really, really care about that. So, like, if you're talking with a lewd tuber and then you're like, hey, just FYI, I'm in a relationship, they're not going to try and pursue a relationship with you. They may just be flirty because that's their brand, but 9 times out of 10, if you take my advice with whatever grain of salt you want, you tell them, I'm not comfortable with being flirted with, and they will be like, cool, I respect that. I will not flirt with you now. If you know, this kind of reminds me of the time where a VTuber named Toastify deleted his Twitter account after he had done. It's like a death by 1,000 cuts. I don't think I actually know that one. It's like I'm watching two people first time dating. Yeah. I don't know the age of all the people involved. I'm just assuming they're all 18 plus. I'm pretty sure they are. I'm willing to bet they are. Right? Yeah. I hope so. I was always open that I was dating someone. It didn't matter to him. I had even gone to the person to be clear that I wasn't trying to engage in anything flirty with them for the comfort of my relationship. It's not that hard. Hey, I hope your day is going well. I don't want to be weird or make things awkward, but I just want to let you know I'm not trying to be flirty and stuff. It's not my intention. But someone had messaged my mans about our interaction the other day, so I wanted to be clear about things. Hey, oh no, I got you. I'm just naturally flirty and fun, but not one to cause any issues like that. I am just happy to have a new friend is all, but I hope things aren't awkward at all or weird. Hey, look at that. There have been some that tried to get into the space before actually turning 18. It did not work out for them. I will say that. After me and Poppy had broken up, I found out in a call from a mutual friend that Poppy had accused me of wanting to meet this man in person behind his back. Oh my god, that's wild. The paranoia is strong with this one. She actively responding to the stalking now. She actively stalked my following list. Would wait in Twitch chats to see if I would be there. Me and Poppy share plenty of mutuals. I'm a chronic lurker and don't always speak much in chats, using redeems and emotes more. This eventually shifted into accusations of me, quote, sitting in Twitch chats to stalk him. If Poppy popped up somewhere I was lurking, I would usually redeem something as a way of saying hi. This made him angry for announcing my presence when he was there. It's not for me, but I mean it, like the feet thing. Are you judging me? No. Why are you being so defensive? I'm trying to joke. Also, shame on you for spying on me and others' chats, trying to keep tabs on me. I was in there before you, angry face. Yeah, that's stalker behavior, hanging out in a mutuals chat before the other one shows up. Total stalker behavior. Later on, he told me he thought that same streamer had a crush on him, and he didn't express any interest in wanting to mention that he had a partner. He even told me to let her have that crush on him while we were in call. Blank is my friend, quit spying on me. You told me to let her have her crush on you. How is that supposed to make me feel? Decided I'm watching blank because you're spying on me. What the fuck? You do this every day. I was there before you. Doesn't matter. Bro, dude's getting super paranoid. Yeah, like wickedly weird. I don't know. Context: I had changed my Discord status to I wish I had a more sultry voice while lurking a Vtuber whose voice I love. Poppy had eventually showed up there too. Huh, I wonder who's really doing the stalking. Or if it's just, I don't know, weird coincidence that you happen to both end up being in a stream that you guys are both friends of, apparently. What you up to, honey? Getting ready for a shower, then stream. How about you? Just chilling. How was your day? Lol, can you not hate on yourself and quit spying on me? I'm getting ready for stream and you're trying to pick a fight and this jealousy thing. I'm not trying to pick a fight. I'm just embarrassed with myself. You're getting dream flashbacks? Man, I didn't even go into like any of the dream stuff. I haven't even touched on the dream stuff. It's getting out of control. 1 hour before stream, and I'm furious. Don't be furious because I don't like my voice. Okay? Hey babe, I'm sorry. I won't be so hard on myself. Just don't compare yourself to other people. What is their beef though? They've had issues for a while now, it seems. Blank being sussy in the DM? Nah. They were literally memeing, I need you, Poppy, but not in the way you want. As in, they needed me for something and making implications that I want to be needed. Hence why I said, what are you implying? Love you, babe, but I definitely don't appreciate you spying on me, interacting with my friends, and making me feel like I'm doing something inherently wrong. I was there before you even showed up. He's an awesome artist, can't blame you. Because I saw Blank in there earlier, but now I left. So go have fun hanging out. This is like really, really weird to me. Because like they're supposed to, the streams that they're seeing each other in are supposed to be mutual friends, but now he's being like, it makes me uncomfortable when you hang out with these people or check out their streams. That's just weirdly controlling behavior. These people have a personal issue made public. Yep, they really do. This is the kind of shit that you don't want to be made public. Call me crazy, but I think this rivalry between Mythic and Poppy is kind of like Obi-Wan and Anakin's rivalry in Revenge of the Sith. I'm kind of getting that vibe. I would say it's a bit of a stretch for a parallel, but I can see where you're coming at. This all just feels like high school drama, lol. I mean, welcome to VTuber sphere. Now, I will say the actual abusive and harmful behavior is not drama. The drama is largely all the people engaging on Twitter and then all the arguments that have spurred since this document came out. I started to feel like I could only be around when he allowed it. I felt guilty for lurking in chats or checking out people he talked about, like we weren't allowed to share the same space now. I was frustrated and felt like I needed to find new people to follow. I expressed this. I feel like I can't go anywhere you go anymore. If you're going to say I'm just spying, I'll find new people. We were not taking steps to repair our trust with each other. He would reassure me, but his actions wouldn't match up. And I admit to looking at publicly available followings to confirm some of my suspicions I had at the time. Once confirmed, my trust was further broken, and I didn't feel secure in the relationship. I expressed that I didn't like what all of this was turning me into / doing to me mentally, making me paranoid that he would go behind my back if given the chance. I just wanted transparency and to be open. You guess Mythic has a high ground? Yeah, I would say so. At this point, I would definitely say so. After I found out you were following porn stars on Twitch well into our relationship, it hurt so much. I don't like who I'm becoming, worrying about other chicks. I can't do it. I mean, they could be. They could be the Obi-Wan of this universe. I don't know the full details of who this mythic is. I literally just have this document to go over, and I think Mythic has been pretty reasonable with their statement they've put out. I don't think Poppy had been as reasonable or understandable. They should start using Chica? Yeah, they should. The jealousy behavior displayed from both of us was extremely unhealthy and not okay to either of us. Our trust with each other was clearly broken, and we shouldn't have continued the relationship for as long as we did. Making this part all out to be one-sided is unfair. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. It's both people had issues with this type of behavior, and it seems like only one person really recognized it. Poppy's cheating behavior / hiding the relationship. As I had gotten closer to Aspen and another person by this point, and eventually talked about some of the feelings I had been internalizing. We opened up to each other and would hang out in VR chat. I had thought we were friends at the time, and they had expressed that they felt I wasn't being treated properly multiple times. That Poppy was neglectful and even sometimes mean towards me while he was live on stream, but I would blame myself. Now, I do wish there were clips of that. I believe this is a bunch of screenshots. Yes. A bunch of screenshots regarding Mythic and Aspen's conversations. And, well, we're already, hour and a half into this coverage? I don't need to make it extra long. Oh boy. But yes, they had a lot of discussion. Around the end of 2022, Poppy had started interacting with another artist on Twitter and DMs more frequently and got more distant from me. I will refer to that artist as V. Later on, Aspen offered to talk to V after they found out Poppy had a partner. She found out that Poppy and V were really friendly with each other, even sending each other photos of themselves. Aspen had later sent me these screenshots that V sent her for some of those conversations. That is how I obtained these. Poppy, you look gorgeous, but I was waiting for dinner pics, not dessert. Damn, haha. Alright, you got me, Lamau, you got me good. I'm just a silly guy. Just a little goof, haha. Yeah, I think they were exchanging, selfies. You've been pretty sweet to me yourself, thank you. Hey, don't sweat it. These messages are referred to in the verbal abuse audio. Yeah, understandably. Not everyone can properly deal with such subject matter. And I totally get that. It's quite alright. I asked Poppy to tell V that he had a partner, especially after he described how starstruck she was with him. I didn't think this would be a problem. Probably if I figure out what to do. Also, hey babe, it would make me comfortable if you let blank know that you have a partner sometime, because I know you said that you think she's starstruck. If it comes up in conversation, no problem, but I don't feel comfortable being like, hey, I'm assuming you like me, and I need you to know I'm seeing someone. I know that you don't announce stuff, but I thought back when you mentioned it to blank stuff, it made me feel comfy, and I love them, and I love them now. I genuinely don't feel comfortable doing it. It's no one's business. It's no one's business that the person who is letting people have feelings for doesn't disclose that he's in a relationship. I personally think that if you are in a relationship, you should disclose it pretty openly, because you will prevent parasocial people from having that extra hard attachment to you. Like, people are still going to have parasocial attachments to you one way or another, but it helps fight it if you're like, hey, I have a partner. By the way, I do have a partner, FYI. Me, Briley, I have a partner. I get what he's saying, but letting people have feeling? Come on. Like, I mean, if you're going to engage with flirtatious behavior online, talk with your partner about it. Like, my partner is fully aware that I flirt, make jokes, and even in the past have made dirty pictures of other VTubers with myself. Consenting, don't worry. And she doesn't care, because we've talked about it. We've been open about it. We've discussed things. If she had a problem with it, probably wouldn't have been posting that shit, would I? That's just me, because, you know, I kind of care what my partner is feeling. Maybe I'm just a wild card. God, I hope not. This made me uncomfortable. This was very odd when he was previously okay with telling other friends about us, but now he suddenly didn't feel comfortable with telling her. My feelings didn't seem to matter, even after I tried to explain to Poppy that it would make me more comfortable. Later that night, a group of people were sitting in Poppy's Discord server, VC, myself and V included. A person had let slip in the call that me and Poppy were together. Poppy got angry at this. What? Should show the message. Okay, weird. Dang it. To be honest, hating these people, they both super horny. I feel discontent towards one specific person. I'm very upset right now. What happened? I just feel like my boundaries aren't being... Poppy speaking. I just feel like my boundaries aren't being respected. I can't breathe. Are you okay? Mythic replies, are you okay, baby? Is it from the VC earlier? It's not just that. It was this morning as well. Was it because I asked that question? I'm sorry if I caused it. I want to make things better. I love you and you're my partner. I was trying to be open with my feelings, but not start anything. Poppy responds, I'm quite upset. I've told you many times how I feel about this shit. And now I can't even sit in a fucking VC with other motherfuckers talking about my relationship. Like it's any of their fucking business. Literally earlier, he said he would be cool with it if it came up naturally. This sounds to me like an example of when it would come up naturally. So it's very sus to me that he's... Oh, good lord, it keeps going. Of course it keeps going. It's very sus to me that he's like getting all angry now about things. This ain't working for me. I'm sorry, but I'm not happy with this and want to be alone. Really? Yeah, I understand. I just can't deal with the jealousy. Okay, I literally feel anxious being friends with anyone. Blank, I don't want to make you anxious. I know you don't, but I feel like anytime I'm friends with another creator, I'm trying to build a bond and continue my career. You're upset when Twitch is literally 90% this, it's my living. I need context on that one. Context on which one specifically? Because I can share the context that I know of. I know it's your living, and I do everything in my power to build you up. I know I'm not perfect, but sometimes it feels like you get defensive and makes me worry a little. That's why I asked you... Well, that's why I asked that question today, because I didn't want someone getting a crush and things getting weird, you know? That's all. Them talking about this relationship. The contact... Basically, it was earlier Where was it? Where was it? I can't remember, but earlier on, in the early stages of their relationship, they were, or Poppy was a lot more open to talking about it. And then within like the second half of the relationship or so, he kind of changed gears and then just didn't really want to tell anybody about the relationship. And Mythic was like, hey, it makes me uncomfortable if you don't disclose that you're in a relationship while engaging in flirtatious behavior with people. And then he was like, don't worry about it. To be honest, I don't care if someone develops a crush. That doesn't matter. What matters is my interactions and how I proceed. I don't like that framing. Because, like, if somebody does develop a crush on you and then you kind of let them indulge in that fantasy and then kind of get things out of them, it's getting into the coercive area, gray area that I don't like. I don't want to see people engaging in that. My personal bias. But I wouldn't want them to feel led on, though. Not entertaining sus behavior. I don't lead anyone on. I'm not like that. The thing is, people get weird on Twitch. That's how it goes. They get infatuated with creators at times and support them. I can't control this. You can mitigate it, though. Do I want to get supported? Of course, that's how I pay my fucking bills. I'm not out here trying to hurt anyone. I just want to do my job and keep my private life private. That's it. If anyone was being inappropriate, you would have been the first to know, like I've always been. So here's the thing. You can't really keep it private. There will always be people that try to dig into things, especially as you grow in being a public figure. It's kind of the cost of being a public figure, like a content creator, like a VTuber. His reassurance meant nothing when his actions were saying something else. The day when V found out about Poppy and I's relationship, Aspen had offered to reach out to V, obtaining screenshots from some of their conversations and informing me that V was having feelings for Poppy. Okay. Yeah, it looks like they do. Oh, okay, they don't show them all, but fine. We love you so much. I'll be here. You're a fighter. Stand up for yourself and what you need. He told me he's not attracted to blank. I believe that. This is a neglect issue mostly. He offered to show me all the DMs with her, except I don't know if I want to. You've seen them. Don't tell him that, lol. We'll still be up. I have my tablet ready if you need to pop back for any reason. I don't think he understands how people can develop crushes from DMs like that. And she did. She admitted to him. He thinks assuming she had a crush is weird of him to do. Sure, this is a neglect issue mostly. Is it the viewers that have feelings for him? This is an artist who has developed feelings for Poppy while Poppy is in a relationship with Mythic. And like, Poppy didn't really disclose that he was in a relationship with Mythic, and then it came out in voice chat that, yeah, they are in a relationship. And then things got heated from there. But this was back in, God, January of last year, 1 year ago. And this is right here is letting Mythic know that the artist known as V did admit their feelings towards Poppy. And Poppy has so far been giving the response of, I don't care if they have a crush. Which I personally think is irresponsible and can be taking advantage of people, so to speak. If he doesn't disclose it, he could at least take advantage of it for more free work. yeah, that's kind of what we're going to be getting into a bit. He said he doesn't know if she has a crush, but if she does, he'll squash it. Too late, buddy, lol. He's calming down. That's good. Hopefully some real change can come of this. God, that's what I always hope whenever I cover stuff. I hope real change can come of it, but most of the time, no, it doesn't happen. Thank you for sitting with me through all that. Of course, you mean a lot to me through good and bad and the sad. I would have had an anxiety attack without you two. At the end of the day, we just want everyone to be happy, no matter what that means. And I have no idea who that is. We have no reason to pry. Weeks later, in February, we had a discussion on the situation regarding V. I had made a tough decision to record us trying to talk about the situation that had happened with V, planning to listen back to it to see if I had been approaching these discussions wrong. I was verbally abused when trying to be calm during the discussion, berated and belittled that he was fucked out of a regular and that I don't understand Twitch parasocial relationships because V had stopped interacting with him as much. The blame was shifted and he wouldn't take accountability for not disclosing the relationship. So before even playing the audio, which we are about to, so thanks for stopping by. This already really seems like a problem of willingly not disclosing the information of being in a relationship in order to get that parasocial attraction from somebody else. But yes, content warning, we're about to listen to something not so great. We're going into the verbal abuse audio recording. I think it's a couple minutes long. So if, for those faint of heart, please click away for now. I don't know. I don't have the timestamp for when it's going to be in the video, but again, warning. Here we go.
I don't go by stream anymore to say I just nothing. Nobody.
It was different.
How was different?
They had a crush on you.
I don't think so. I don't even
no,
care
they
if they
did.
did. Who gives it? Good.
Because
Good.
they talked
Fuck
about
yeah.
it.
Good. So she can pay my bills. Good. That's fucking awesome. I hope that nobody fucked that up for me. The people that pay my bills.
Within the first, 40 seconds, he's already admitted that it's just for paying the bills. That's the bottom line to him. That's literally the impression I get from the first bit of this recording.
That's a part of the job.
Depressed? Why do you think she was depressed when she
I have no idea.
when she found out that you had a girlfriend?
Oh, well then who fucked that up?
We were in VC.
That response right there. Who fucked that up? Poppy fucked that up. Because he didn't disclose that he was already in a relationship and let this artist think that he was potentially available. So this person would want to get the attention of this bigger creator, of this Twitch partner. This is really fucked up.
See? And then you got tilted at everybody?
I got tilted at
Well, you know, but...
yeah, because he wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Well, I'm sorry, but...
It doesn't
trying to
matter. It's no
explain.
one's fucking business. Why is that a problem? Why is that? You don't understand Twitch parasocial relationships and how these people actually pay people.
I get the feeling that Poppy doesn't properly understand the effect itself either. That, or he knowingly willingly taking advantage of people to extract as much money out of them as he possibly can. I really get why he didn't want people to listen to these.
That's how streamers get their money. That's a part of the job.
Well, I'm gonna get, like, when I hear things, I might get a little upset.
That's fine. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? You gonna get mad at?
No.
You gonna get new fucking people?
No! With that you know,
Who
they send
gives
you
a shit?
they send you a picture and you say, I was expecting dinner pics, not dessert, and then they get all blushy and flustered, and you're like, I'm a silly little guy.
Oh my
How
God,
is
that's
that supposed
hilarious.
to make me feel?
That's hilarious.
So of course I get a
come
little
on.
upset, but I'm over it. Like, sure, I'm a little
And who
bitter.
sent you that? And who sent you that?
People talk to each other.
Who?
It doesn't matter who.
Okay. Oh my God. And have you seen her? I'm not attracted to her.
Just be nice, please.
I know, it was more like me being friendly. But now you don't share my shit. Don't buy me nothing. You know what I mean? Doesn't even show up to stream barely. I'm fucked out of a regular when I'm trying to maintain my viewership because motherfuckers can't keep their mouths shut.
It wouldn't matter if people talk about you behind your back if you're an actual authentic person. If somebody is what's a thing? If somebody is building themselves up as like this good kind of role model, and then it turns out they're not a good role model, yeah, the community is going to turn away and go away from that. If you build yourself up as an authentic person, it's a lot harder for people to properly cancel you. Like 100% level 100 narcissist. Yeah, really, for real.
That's why I was pissed. My relationship is no one's business. And that's why and Aspen can suck my dick for the rest of my life. Fuck them. Because they fucked with my money. And if you fuck with my money, you are worth nothing to me.
That really betrays biases. When you speak in anger, it really betrays biases. And this dude, at least from this clip, is really, really focused on his money, which... not the most important thing in the world. I get that he's probably in a position where his livelihood is content creation. And honestly, I think he would have, this type of cancellation wouldn't have been as bad. It wouldn't have gone to the lengths it did if he hadn't propped himself up as like, I'm a super good person, but I just happen to make edgy jokes kind of thing. But then this stuff comes out and it's like, oh, maybe they aren't really just jokes, huh?
I will not fucking help those fucking assholes ever again. Aspen is a selfish little bitch and fucking is a simp.
Also, fun fact, Aspen went on to defend Poppy after this response document did come out.
And this is why, though. This is why that I hate and I hate Aspen. Is because now, because of them, they hurt and she's all upset probably, right? And then that triggering that jealousy, it hurt you too. You know what I mean? And it's just like, if everyone would have just minded their own fucking business,
then you could have gotten away with it, right?
you gotta let people find out shit naturally.
They did.
Fucking crazy.
The, the natural way to find out about it is to mention it yourself passively sometime in conversation, where somebody mentions something that, oh, maybe my partner likes, and you just happen to offhandedly mention that. Then, oh, hey, the information's out there. Not a problem. But then if just for by random circumstance, maybe it doesn't happen to be mentioned that way, and maybe it comes out later in a voice chat that, oh, these two people are in a relationship. And then the person that catches the feelings is like, oh, I wish I had known about that. Man, shitty situation.
Found out that I was in a relationship, he stopped giving me money too.
Well, that's the end of that recording. I hope he purely wants to farm these people and not cheat. I don't know anything about any specific cheating claims, but this type of behavior, at least what I have seen, it's not too much of a stretch that maybe he would engage with it given the opportunity, but I have no way of directly proving that. So I'm not really about to say that Poppy is a cheater, so to speak. I think he downplayed his relationship and deliberately tried to hide it in order to get monetary gain. This shows that Poppy was leveraging the possibility of romantic relationships with other streamers in order to lead them on and get them to give him more money at the expense of our relationship. I have no doubt now that Poppy had been keeping other people around in arm's reach to eventually replace me with. That's very possible. It's very, very possible that's the case. He did not care that he was hurting me or these other people just as long as he could get his money. While I wanted to be more open with the relationship, Poppy was now more reluctant to mention it, saying it was no one's business now, which fueled my paranoia and suspicions. He was even reluctant to do a private VR double date with two people at the time we considered friends. Which is kinda weird to me. Wanting attention from other people other than your partner in a way is emotionally cheating, I would think. I can see that argument. Like, if you do have a partner that's actively trying to connect with you on that emotional connection, attention way, whatever, but then you're like deliberately ignoring them to talk with other people and get that connection from them, I can see where that's coming from with like emotionally cheating. But I also think that if you start labeling that as cheating, people are going to essentialize that he was sleeping around behind people, which I would actually classify as worse than just the emotionally cheating kind of thing. If that makes sense. Blank tried to get me to do this date thing again in fucking VR chat, and I'm not interested in that shit. My relationship with you is just very just a me and you thing. I don't want these people to be around me when I'm being cute with you. How I act with you is exclusive to you. I struggle with opening up to others, and that kind of shit makes me uncomfortable. When I'm around you, I'm most vulnerable, and that's not a side I'm willing to share with anyone else. That's people's stupidity, can't be helped. Yeah. True that, true that. I understand, baby. They just want to hang out and don't know about that. And don't know that about you. I love you. Love you too. But it's just so fucking pushy. He always asks about that shit, and it's like, I'm your friend, homie. Please calm down. Just this sounds like Poppy hasn't really had an actual conversation with the person saying, hey, this is why these kinds of suggestions make me feel uncomfortable. Could we not do that, please? Which I will also add that it is kind of yikes to me that people, like, if my partner didn't want to be seen being friendly or lovey-dovey with me, like, at all, I would personally see that as a bit of a red flag. Like, why don't you want to be seen with me? What's the problem with it? And I guess in Poppy's case, he wants to sell the brand that he's open and available and jokes about the lewd stuff, and he's got a girlfriend on the side. That's how it's coming across to me. I'm getting very icky vibes from that. I understand. I don't mind hanging out, but personal displays of affection is fine by me, and I don't care about that. But they're trying to get more close than I'm comfortable with. They take their shot, I guess. What are your thoughts, baby? I've never been on a double date before. I know they mean well and just want to hang out. I just feel like a cornered animal, lol. The idea of being stuck in a room like that and being out of control of when I can leave sounds like a nightmare. I know you don't like the feeling of out of control. I mean, it's a VR date. If you really want to get out of there, you can just take the headset off and be like, hey, I'm being overwhelmed with this situation. I need to take a step away from that. If you're engaging with respectful people, they will be like, yeah, that's cool. Take your time. I know this is true because I hang out with those types of people. If somebody is getting overwhelmed with too much of a social situation, they can take off. It's no biggie to me. Literally. Just feels like it's Aspen pulling her stuff again and trying to get close to me, and I don't want that. I know, honey. Isolation. On September 14th, Poppy wanted to break up again. This was a mutual agreement as I was conflicted by a lot of things from things Poppy had recently been saying, becoming more distant. See Poppy's transphobia for more on this, and we will get to there. He cared more about my interaction on his channel over my feelings / mental well-being. I'm live, honey, if you want to pop in, say hi. I'll lurk a little while I do stuff, but don't really want to talk in chat. You don't even want to say hi? Is there a reason you don't want to be seen talking to my chat? That's yikes phrasing. Like, respect to the lurkers out there. If you don't want to actively engage with chat, you just want to kick back and listen. I love you guys. You guys are great. You guys really help any channel you're actually watching. Lurkers are literally the backbone of streaming. But being like, why don't you even want to say hi in my chat? Do you not want to be seen with me? And it's like, bitch, you don't even want to publicly announce that you have a partner, and you're getting pissy that the partner doesn't necessarily want to say hi. They just have the energy right now to lurk. This is wacky. This is really wacky. What, you don't even want to say hi? Are you horrible or something? Yeah, that's not too far of a stretch from the tone and vibe I'm getting. I just don't want a bunch of people saying hi to me when I'm not in the talkative mood. You know, I've been depressed all day. I'm sorry if it's such a problem. Hey, that actually sounds very reasonable. Wow. Don't sweat it. Hope you feel better. I just feel like you don't interact at all and haven't for a long time, but you never have to. Remember that. Just makes me happy when you do. Ah, man. I don't go to people in DMs and be like, "Hey, I haven't seen you interact or I haven't seen you leave a comment under my YouTube videos in a long time." It just makes me happy when you do. I don't do that to people. I'll be like, if it happens to come up in conversation, I'll mention my channel, and then if they say like, "Oh, I haven't really checked out the videos," I don't care. If I'm talking with friends and then it happens to come up that I run a YouTube channel and then they don't watch it, I'm not so narcissistic to think that everybody should be watching me. I don't need my friends to watch every single video and validate me in every single way, because I get that. I get that more than enough when my videos go semi-viral because I'm rage baiting the rightoids. That makes me really happy when I have a video that gets like over 1,000 views and then like 90% dislikes because it's a bunch of phobes that hate me. And I find that funny because they're trying to make me feel bad. But the more they engage with my videos, the more they get pushed out by the algorithm. And the more cool people see my videos. Okay, enough tangent. I don't know how many times I have to explain this. You don't gotta, but seeing you interact with other creators on Twitter and not even looking at anything I post or say makes me feel like you don't fuck with anything I do. If you posted something recently, I didn't fucking see it. I'm at my damn limits. Limits on what? My mental? I feel like I've been so mentally fucked. I've been physically ill. Poppy, pay attention to your partner when they're saying they're at their goddamn limits. You don't make it about you, dude. Relationships are a two-way street. And like, yeah, you don't see every single thing that everybody you follow posts. I mean, it would help if they had notifications on. It's a lot easier to keep up with stuff. But even then, especially if I got notifications on for somebody that tweets a lot, you're still not going to see everything that they put out unless you're excessively making yourself like some kind of super fan. Yeah, same here. What should we do? I don't know. We've been getting along great last 3 days. I think it's not working. You seem absolutely checked out, so I don't gotta worry. So you don't gotta worry about breaking up with me. I'm literally in the middle of supper, but I wish nothing but the best from you. Aspen shot me a message telling me you might want to talk, so call me if you do. Are you okay? I left the door for communication open, but you never reached out. I'll leave you alone if that's what you'd like. I knew that if me and Poppy talked on call, I would get sucked back into my feelings despite my beliefs on the situation. There are multiple accounts where Poppy first went to people asking them if I had talked about Poppy to them, and then proceeded to tell them not to reach out to me, that I had to figure things out on my own, attempting to destroy my support circle. He admits to recognizing that I was vulnerable during this time, yet still had told people to not reach out to me. Read Spoodle's statement after the breakup on his experience with this. We're coming up on halfway through this entire document. Yay! We eventually started talking again, remaining mostly as friends up until November. Earlier, when we were in the relationship, I had mentioned to Poppy a handful of people who I was comfortable with regularly talking to or hanging out with. Once we separated, I noticed Poppy had started demanding more time from those specific people, making them less available for me to be around. He even specifically named them. Did you edit? Nope, Aspen did. I told you she was helping me today. I got you. She did good. Do you like it? The voice work okay? Your voice work is always good, yes. Been spending a lot of time with Aspen lately? You got any more of them recordings? I believe there's one more recording. Oh, 2 more recordings, yeah. 2 more recordings, yeah. Not really, just needed help with the edit. It's more of a blank, Aspen and Spoodle, more of a thing with them. This was odd when he didn't express wanting to spend so much personal time with them before, mainly with Spoodle until now. He had blocked me, not willing to properly talk about the situation and his feelings surrounding it. Please read Spoodle's statement before being blocked for context on this situation. From Poppy, a quote from Poppy's document, I later blocked her as I found it disrespectful and distasteful to see her and another close friend of mine engaging in intimate behavior in front of my face and community. You know, I found it disrespectful and distasteful for Poppy to be engaging in intimate behaviors privately and in front of my face during our relationship. Ooh. Slam. On to the transphobia stuff. Yay! I noticed when the Hogwarts game came out that Poppy had made some comments about the transgender community and the controversy surrounding the game that I didn't agree with. He bought the Hogwarts Legacy game on his PlayStation 5, went into the settings, and hid the game from his friends list to make sure no one could view him playing it. He did this because of all the controversy about the game on Twitter, and one of his Twitch team members had made a post on Twitter on their thoughts relating to the situation. Poppy wanted me to sit in a call with him while he played it since he couldn't do it live. I kept my opinions to myself, not wanting to start a fight. He just wanted to play his game. Now, I will say, as a trans person, I don't think it's transphobic to want to play the Hogwarts Legacy game. I don't think it's inherently transphobic to do that. Like, you kind of got to do a bit of a stretch to explain how there could actually be harm done by playing that game. But I don't think that really holds up. I don't think the boycott was something worth pursuing. I don't think that makes them transphobic. The recordings, though, we'll get into those. Those are separate. Those are not about Hogwarts specifically. I don't think anyone would believe me if I didn't have solid proof of his transphobic comments due to how heavy they were. I knew that if I were to speak about any of this, that Poppy would try to attack me and do everything in his power to discredit me and ruin my career. I eventually disappeared after hearing even more comments. I was disgusted and struggled internally with my feelings on Poppy. If he could even change and the entire situation, I distanced myself from streams and peers, disappearing for weeks at a time on social media between August and October. Poppy has shown me repeatedly that he has little care for the trans community as a whole when the cameras were off or not in his public Discord, and I was disgusted. Please understand why I did what I did and why Poppy is trying to silence me. I will not be threatened into silence. The audio recordings. Poppy has claimed on Twitter that he has heard these audios. He has not. That is why he was unable to apologize directly and name what had been said. He is trying to silence me publicly by attempting to slander, deplatform, and ruin my career. We would be in Discord calls while he would speak the way he did. I would stay quiet, being his vent piece. We have censored the names of any additional parties for their privacy. So, before I do actually play these audios, I do want to highlight the next little part here. No matter how much money was raised by his team as a collective, he has still expressed these opinions well after raising the money for the Trevor Project in 2021. These statements were made mere months ago, prove his lack of concern for the struggle of the queer community and people in it, especially trans people, using the community for personal gain. Now, I don't remember exactly when the Trevor Project charity stream was, but it was 2021. And the first audio was recorded in July 26, 2023, The second was September 13th. So roughly 3 months ago for the second clip. And well, let's listen to it. So, content warning. Yeah.
People that claim to be non-binary but go into getting on testosterone, you know what I mean, to absolutely fuck their chemical fuck their body up for the rest of their lives, chemically castrate themselves, you know what I mean, is just insane.
Yes, I know about hormone replacement therapy. Do you? Because I'm going to be honest, these recordings betray an ignorance on Poppy's part regarding hormone therapy.
Insane to me. It's insane. And a woman with a dirt lip is probably the most repulsive thing. Like an actual, like, mustache. You know, everybody.
Here he's talking about non-binary people on testosterone, typically assigned female at birth people who go on testosterone, and some of them do start growing facial hair. Testosterone is a hell of a drug. And largely, a lot of people going onto this stuff are adults. They know what they're getting into.
Everybody's got peach fuzz. But an actual, like, you know, like a little, like a Mexican 12-year-old mustache, you know, is repulsive.
Does anybody really see how any of this could be jokes? This doesn't sound to me like it's in a tongue-in-cheek manner. It sounds to me like it's personal venting where they think they're not going to get recorded for saying such, I'm going to go with bigoted thoughts.
You know, I don't get it. I don't understand it.
You don't need to.
But I just, man, these people are just so gung-ho about filling their bodies full of chemicals and doing permanent damage to themselves for the rest of their lives.
Actually, most hormone effects are replaceable. You know what's the most permanent thing that can happen? When somebody takes their own life for not being able to access the gender-affirming care. That is the most permanent option that, unfortunately, people do take. Because if they can't live as themselves, people don't want to live, as it turns out. The entire medical community is in agreement that gender-affirming care is life-saving care. If you don't want to read up on it, I highly recommend not talking about it so people don't call you out on your bigoted thoughts.
Because when you fuck with your hormones, that is lasting. That is not something you can take away.
To be fair, there are some things that are lasting. Like, for me, breast tissue growth, that is permanent. It doesn't just go away. But other things like the softening of my skin, my body hair getting thinner, that stuff, if I go off hormone therapy, it is reversed. There can be a point where I can be on hormone therapy for too long and I can't produce fertile sperm anymore, but I don't care. I was also made aware of that before even starting taking the medication.
Getting a tattoo is one thing. That's cosmetic, right?
Great comparison.
But fucking your internal organs up. You know what I mean? And basically forcing your body into a second puberty, but for a different gender.
Yeah. Literally, that's the point of hormone therapy. That's literally the point of gender affirming care. Because you don't identify with, you don't associate with the assigned gender at birth. You seek out ways to affirm the gender you see yourself as.
Is just insane.
You got any more? Okay, no, that was it. So yeah, that was, I would say, is the less worse one of the two. Now let's hear the other one. Again, content warning, transphobia.
For you. That is a mental issue. That is not, and it needs to be treated as such. And it's instead of it being treated like something that is an issue, they're like, oh well, the only way to fix it is thousands of dollars of surgery that I will regret in 20 years.
So, like, what made him want to go on a rant like this? Apparently, Hogwarts Legacy. Unironically, apparently, this is recordings from when he was wanting to. Who's he talking to? He is talking to Mythic Sites, the X in this instance. He wanted to play Hogwarts Legacy, was pissy about the discourse on Twitter, and apparently just had some stuff to say and just didn't want to say it on stream. I mean, if he had just branded himself as... Yeah, while he was playing it too. He wanted to brand himself as, I'm a queer ally kind of thing. And then it comes out, oh, he's talking about chemical castration and don't give it to kids kind of thing. Going for all that kind of rhetoric, it seems. If he just went down like the Pippa route, he wouldn't be canceled like this. Because like Pippa Pipkin went down the route of going, I hate Harry Potter, but I hate Twitter freaks more. And then like really clout farmed off of the hogleg discourse. And of course, even if we call her transphobic, we call her a Nazi, whatever, her audience doesn't care. This Poppy had built up an audience of people who do care if you're transphobic. So, kind of why it happened.
I feel like these people need to be in a loony bin before they need to, or like something. And then when people are like, yo, we need to definitely not let kids do this, you know? And when the government speaks out and they're like, absolutely not. It is not okay to let kids go through with this because they don't fucking know.
There have been so many people, so many trans people that have stated they've known for so long. Hell, even Blair fucking White has said that she's known she wasn't like other boys since she was like 4 or 5 years old. I've known I was different from others for quite a while. I really knew I was different from others when I entered first puberty and grew titties, which is not common for somebody that's born with a dick. But that is a story for a different day.
You know what I mean? Children are impressionable. Then people get up in arms, honey. They get up in arms and then they get hella mad when the world is like, please, like, but they're like, well, if we don't let the kids do it, then and take like these medications before puberty hits, then it'll be too late and blah 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 and
blah 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 blah. Here's the thing: if you don't like, here's the thing with puberty blockers, they are reversible. The whole point of puberty blockers is to delay puberty so people can really take the time to explore gender, see what really works for them before they're put into a permanent puberty. Like, if you're one of those people that get all up in arms about like trans sports, but then you don't want trans people transitioning at first puberty, then you don't really have an issue with like an unfair biological advantage. You have an issue with trans people. If a transgender person goes through hormone therapy at like 14, 15, 16, that means they're not going through their quote unquote biological puberty. They're experiencing the, like in my case, it would be experiencing female puberty instead of going through a male puberty. If I had gone through that, I wouldn't have the muscle density, that bullshit that I did develop going through a male puberty and then living with that type of body for about 27 years. Even with the funny thing is, even with transitioning after 27, when my puberty was set, my bone structure was set, I went on hormone therapy about 5 years ago now, and holy shit, I am a weak ass kitten compared to where I was 5 years ago. And I have been actively using my muscles for a lot of that time, because when you block testosterone to somebody's body, they don't build up new muscle from lifting heavy shit all the time. They will, at best, maintain some muscle, but continuing with hormone therapy does put you in about the same ballpark of a cis-born person. Male, whichever direction you're going, that's basically how it works, and we've known how it works since we've had puberty blockers. We've had them since, like, what was it, the 1980s? They've been around for quite a while. We know their effects. People are just mad because trans people are the current culture war talking point.
And it's like,
Or one of the main ones. Where cis even comes from, it is literally the opposite of trans. Like, for, I think it was Latin, trans means other, cis means same. To put it basically, I don't know 100%, but I believe that's where it came from.
unbelievable. It's like, oh my God. It's unbelievable. These fucking people want to make these stupid ass decisions when the human brain doesn't even fully mature until your late 20s.
Dude, no brain's perfect. And I would say your brain finishes developing around 25, typically, for the average person. This is just betraying a bigoted bias where he might surround himself with trans people, but he doesn't properly listen to their advocacy. He doesn't really seem to know anything about hormone therapy. He doesn't seem to really know much about what it actually means to socially transition or to medically transition, and how much of an actual impact that has on trans people. So this is a lot of where people are coming from with, dude is transphobic. I see where those allegations are coming from. Oh, I very, very much see. There is also a part of me that can recognize this might not necessarily be malicious behavior. It could be ignorant behavior, where it's not he's trying to deliberately hurt trans people. He's just been only exposed to right-wing talking points and media and that kind of thing, and just hasn't internalized more perspectives.
You know what I mean? They don't even know what the fuck they want.
I know what the fuck I want. I want my titties and dick. Oh yeah, it gets quiet here for a bit. But the ending of this is pretty fucking damning. I will say, yeah, bigotry is rooted in English, and bigotry is rooted in English. Confirmed. It's rooted in ignorance, and yeah, he largely seems to just focus on his own thoughts, his own feelings. He doesn't quite fully understand other people's feelings. Good timing. Not gonna lie, I do wish they edited out the silent bit.
I want to tell I love him to death, but being gay is not a personality. Great. I love
Come on.
All right, baby, I'm done talking about negative bullshit. Sorry, I went and got all grandstandy over some stupid shit that has literally nothing to do with me.
Right there. Right there. He openly admitted right there that he was venting about something that he was getting emotionally invested in, but acknowledges that it has literally nothing to do with him. He is not trans. He doesn't have to deal with that. At most, he has people he knows of that deal with it, but apparently he doesn't really listen to their perspectives on the things. Holy crap. We're about halfway through, guys. Woo! How long is this covered? 2.5 hours. Good lord. There is so much to keep going through this. In Poppy's doc, the only argument Poppy presents against the allegations of being transphobic boils down to, I have lots of trans friends and I've donated to the Trevor Project. There are two huge issues with this argument. One, that money was raised collectively by his community members and the Wrecking Crew team, a team which Poppy founded and leads, yet has been mostly inactive since last year. Two, raising money for the Trevor Project does not inherently make you not transphobic. You can still absolutely have transphobic beliefs and views while trying to show otherwise through charity events. This is very evident from the fact that the Wrecking Crew Trevor Project charity event took place in 2021, and yet his transphobic statements were made only months ago. Poppy later would edit the original document and post on Twitter several times, changing his story again. Ooh, created on the 3rd, modified on the 5th, opened. That doesn't help us very much. And both only what he can gain, all for public image. Yep. We did go over this. Whereas originally he denied any transphobia whatsoever, he now decided to make vague apologies about some non-specific things he has said in the past few years that covered the period of our relationship. If Poppy was truly remorseful about his conduct 4 months ago, he would have had no reason to try and hide it originally in the doc. He went back and edited after getting wind that there is real evidence to prove his transphobic views. It is an attempt to cover himself and wipe himself clean so that he will not have to face any fault or backlash. Hey, Joe Madley. He did not own up to any of his transphobic views or statements until he realized he couldn't get away with them. This proves that even to this day, as long as Poppy believes he can get away with something, he will not change his behavior or make any attempt to learn and grow. Final statement. This is the final statement from Mythic before we do get into other people's statements, which is the other half of this document. I once loved Poppy, but the relationship was toxic to us both and went on for way too long. I never want to see or hear from him ever again. Poppy, you were possessive, and after we broke up, you have told people to not reach out to me and forced friends to pick both sides. You wanted me to be alone to suffer knowing I had abandonment issues. You even tried to keep tabs on me from afar to the point where you blew up and blocked me from seeing a single picture of me sitting beside someone in VR chat, forming your own narrative when the person you were making accusations about wasn't even there. You claim you wanted no contact but were found stalking Spoodle's entire stream when I was present, or would insult him and my friends in other streamers' chats. You have actively demonized me to whoever would listen, and have hurt so many people for your own selfish gain. You have publicly tried to deplatform me, ruin my career, and intimidate me. I know I am not perfect, and I will own up to my mistakes, but I do not deserve to be demonized to the extent you have done. Take accountability for your actions. I am disgusted in Poppy for what he did to me, but also disappointed in a lot of the VTuber community who immediately took what Poppy had posted at face value and shattered friendships. I am moving past the trauma and I have gone through with him, and I've taken steps to get back on the path of healing, start doing what I love again, and bettering myself as a person. My true friends have stood by my side, and words cannot express how grateful I am to them all. To anyone who may have been wronged or victimized by Poppy, you are not alone. I hope that Poppy can learn to take accountability, reflect on his actions, work on educating himself, and getting the help he needs. Thank you for hearing my side. So yeah, this has so far just been the statements between Mythic Sites and Poppy. I did also go over Aspen's statement. But before I start getting into the other statements, I do want to show a little something. Because Poppy deleted his Twitter this morning. And luckily, I still had his profile in my local access memory. So 4 days ago, before this stuff actually broke, I'd like to say thank you to my fellow LGBT community for listening and understanding. I grew up with right-wing parents. I didn't know much about the community. I've said very hateful things in my past, but because of you all, I've grown to change and learn more about me. I accept... That was from 4 days ago. He pinned that. And then his last tweet that I saw anyways, before he deleted his Twitter, I accept full accountability for the things I have said. I'm seeing a therapist on Wednesday, which is today, so hopefully he actually does see the therapist, and will actively work towards bettering myself for my community. To the people I've hurt, I deeply and sincerely apologize. Now, I don't have the one response here, but it was not Poppy who responded to actually go into detail about, what he was actually holding himself accountable or accepting accountability for. He's just vaguely gesturing at it, which really bothers me. I don't think that's the best way to properly, Do I have the link? Link for what? I don't think that's really the best way to hold accountability if you're not actually going to own up to the thing. Use the Wayback Machine. Oh yeah, it might be on archive.io. But that means somebody needs to have had the foresight to what's it? Archive it. Good Lord, this segment, or this coverage, is going on for a very long time. Now, I think with what we have done so far, what I've covered so far, has been the bulk of the callouts. But there is something that I do want to look into a bit further, or I want to cover a bit more, because I do think it is really relevant to what's going, or to some of the things that went on. Now, if you do want to read through all of this, I highly encourage you to. But I think it was, yes, Johnny Jellyjaw's statement, which is about the charity. That this, I think, is the last really big part of what was going on with this that I think really needs to be addressed. So, Johnny Jellyjaw's statement: I've known Poppy for 3 years. He was one of the first people in content creation to reach out to me when I began VTubing. He was one of the first people to offer praise for my art and my concept. It was at the time extremely uplifting to have a larger creator reach out to compliment me in this way. I see now how easily I and other people have been taken in by that false charm. Is the trigger warning over? Yes, I believe we're done listening to all the audios. There were 3 audios, one about it was isolation type abuse, and then 2 other about being transphobic. But we are done listening to those. We're back on to text documents, and right now we're going to be looking at the Wrecking Crew, which was the charity that Poppy had founded or the charity team that Poppy had founded to, promote the Trevor Project. Finally free from the hell. I'm sorry about that. The Wrecking Crew. Early into our careers, Poppy began a Twitch charity team called The Wrecking Crew and invited me to be a part of it. I was overjoyed to be a part of a team and worked with many other amazing creators. Poppy even entrusted me an admin role in the team, a personal point of pride for me. For those of you who are aware, The Wrecking Crew is, for all intents and purposes, dead. It has not done a charity event in over a year. The last one I organized essentially by myself. And its membership has mostly bled out. This isn't entirely Poppy's fault, as people go their own ways and focus on their own things. The reason I bring this up is how Poppy mistreated me and the team in general while I was in my role, and how his refusal to accept a loss has hurt many creators. The Wrecking Crew started in May 2021 with around a dozen creators, give or take a few. We were all passionate and excited and were eager to work together on projects, and Poppy was eager to promote the crew as often as possible and recruit more members. We started our first round of applications and did several after that. It all seemed to be going well. Poppy, okay, so I've decided that I'm incredibly proud of you guys, and you can do this on your own. On the 13th, I will be passing ownership of the team to either Johnny or Barry. I will August, September, yeah, August 6th, 2021. Okay, I will be supporting you from the sidelines, but I feel like it's a it's better this way. I've just got a lot on my plate for my personal content creation journey, and this team is and always will be the best. But you guys, I feel, have a hold of it and don't need me anymore. I will be going my separate ways, and please do not ask me to change my mind or DM me about it. I will hear nothing of it. Well, I'm surprised to hear that, Poppy, and I'm definitely sad that you're stepping away. No matter what, I can't forget that you started this team and brought all these incredible people together. You are personally, to me, an incredible bar on how to act as a content creator and one of my biggest inspirations. And more, that you are a genuinely cool guy. I won't pretend this doesn't make me sad and anxious, but you gotta do what you gotta do, and I understand. As for who you should give leadership to, it should be Barry, if he accepts. He's more able when it comes to organization and has a great working rapport with everyone on the team. In August 6th, 2021, 4 months after the team's creation, Poppy declared he was done with the team and would be stepping down. I was shocked and didn't see myself as someone who was ready for a leadership role. I quickly deferred control to Barry the Bugbear, who I thought was more suited to the role. In hindsight, this was a huge mistake on my part, because Barry, who had his own issues, quickly tried to turn the Wrecking Crew into a second server for himself more than anything else. But that's another story. Barry managed to convince the crew to stay on the Wrecking Crew as the official leader, but he would take no part in the day-to-day running of it. From Poppy, August 6th, Barry will be taking a community manager role. I will remain team owner and leader, but will be stepping back for mental health. Well, he's thinking about it, ooh. So you're going to be the leader without doing any actual work. That's not a leader, that's a boss. At the time, this seemed great because we looked up to Poppy and wanted him with us. In truth, though, what we did was put Poppy in a position where he could take credit for any successes we had while doing as little actual legwork as possible. The truth is, Poppy had gotten what he wanted out of the team at that point, some Twitter clout and access to other creators' communities, and had no more use for us. Still, the crew went on. We had our first big charity event where we, over the course of a month, managed to raise over $40,000 for the Trevor Project. We were insanely proud of how far we came. That is no small amount to raise. They should be proud of raising that much money for the Trevor Project, especially all things considered. This was no small feat, and I'm very proud of what we accomplished together. Unfortunately, the Wrecking Crew began to bleed members after that, with many people leaving over time either due to scandal or personal reasons. Although now I believe that many of them left because of Poppy due to private altercations or disagreements with him. I base this on the fact that many of these former members refuse to even speak with him now, or vice versa. Regardless, it would be a year before the Wrecking Crew managed to do another charity event. This one was organized by me. We managed to raise over $10,000, still a good amount, in December for a pet shelter, and it seemed things were improving again. I started organizing another charity for April and was hoping the previous success would renew interest in Poppy and Barry to support me in making an even bigger charity event. That was when Barry dropped a bombshell on me. So here's Dr. Jellyjaw talking about their plans for April, and Barry responds, "You got it. Also, I think it's a great time for me to say I'd like to step down as community manager. I haven't been able to keep up with the team like I'd like to while juggling my personal life and my own community. I nominate Johnny for new community manager. I'm willing and able to remain on the council." Johnny responds, I'd rather we discuss this in private if that's how you feel, Barry. So apparently this was just dropped in general chat or something, the general public Discord for them, not the place where you really drop those bombshells. I am glad I was able to warn you about that so we didn't cause any issues when covering heavy subjects, because I do cover heavy subjects from time to time, like this. I essentially told Barry I did not want the position because I feared more than anything to be the one who was left holding the bag, trying to keep the team functioning with no support from people who helped, or from the people who helped found it. People I consider my friends, but who had increasingly been drifting away from the crew for their own reasons. I told Barry in a voice call that I would rather we dissolve the crew entirely than take over, as Barry's exit signaled to me that it was not a project any of its founders were interested in anymore. Barry, to his credit, agreed, and we decided to tell Poppy together. I can just let you guys guess. Well, now that should be on general chat. Well, I mean, if there's going to be a changing of staff, I think it should be held in like a private spot before you do make a public announcement about it. But like, it would be pretty wild to me if one of the co-owners of my Discord server was out of nowhere like, yeah, I'm kind of out of here, without actually even talking to me privately about it. I just think it would be better to first discuss it in private before it becomes public. Where was I? Right here. Poppy got wind of what we were going to do and pulled me into a call and very angrily told me that I had no idea what I was talking about and how dare I tell him his team was no longer relevant or had fallen apart. He would not hear it and insisted I would do fine as team manager. I told him I didn't want this because I was afraid of being the only one left of us holding the bag, that I would be alone in trying to hold a team together where its members didn't have the desire to continue to be a part of it. Poppy swore to me that I would not be alone. He would back me in any way he could and that we would do this together. Another lie. That name feels familiar, the Wrecking Crew. You know what it reminds me of? I don't know why, but like when I hear Wrecking Crew, I think of that cartoon from, what was it, Cartoon Network? The Ripping Friends. You guys know about the Ripping Friends? Or am I that old? Oh, it was a 2001-2002 series. Jesus Christ. But yeah, that's what I think whenever I hear the Wrecking Crew. I don't know why, it's just what pops into my head. Poppy did not support me in my effort, and I've been told in private he expressed annoyance at my efforts with the team as a distraction from his own career. The truth is, Poppy didn't want a team. He wanted a fish tank he could put creators in and essentially claim them as his own. Shortly after Barry was outed as a thief and abuser and left content creation altogether, I was, to put it mildly, devastated by this. Barry had been someone I had looked up to very deeply, and to learn who he really was caused me to go into a serious depression. I was unable to bring myself to organize the charity for April like I had originally planned. I'll own up to this failure on my part, but I just couldn't find the will to do it. To the crew members that remained, I'm sorry. Honestly, I don't blame Johnny for feeling that way. Being thrust into a position where you're running a charity team, that's not exactly easy. It's it would help if they had previous leadership experience. But like, fuck. If you don't actually have the drive to lead it, it's going to cause problems. Poppy, you're taking your job too seriously. You just need to breathe. Johnny responds, I feel like I let peeps down for this charity event. I had plans to hype it up in March, and depression hit me like truck cun. I will breathe though. Deep breaths. Oh, Tibbs, you actually know Johnny Jellyjaw? You didn't let anyone down, okay? Not every charity event needs to be so fucking hype. I'm going to participate even though I'm still in a subathon. Just gotta relax and have fun with it. Bad person brings in bad people. It's crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if Johnny got secrets too. Well, sometimes people with things to hide get people who have nothing to hide to surround themselves with that will, you know, make them make their reputation look better. Meanwhile, more signs of the team was falling apart. After Barry had been outed, the Wrecking Crew never made any kind of official statement internally to our team Discord about what was going on, and several members expressed distress in that fact. About this fact, I brought it up before Poppy and the other leaders. Yeah, like an hour before that. Hey guys, so I've been getting a few messages from people in the VC who are concerned about what happened with Barry, or more accurately, concerned we haven't addressed it. I think morale is just low and people want a sign we're still on top of things. I think we should post a simple statement of what happened and what we plan to do going forward. I've also made an anonymous survey here that I wanted to share with the crew just to see where we're at and what we should try to do going forward. Poppy responds, I think that's making it too deep, personally. A simple conversation is fine, but things like that are too official might make people feel backed into a corner. And most importantly, that was Barry's business, not the Wrecking Crew's, and us speaking on it is sticking our nose in business, which is very bad look. Just my take. I completely disagree with Poppy here. So, like, if you're going to get a group or a team together, and then one of the faces of that team gets, take care, thanks for popping by. The faces of that team gets into a big scandal, it's going to reflect on everybody associated with them, especially if you're in, like, say, a charity team with them. Death by association is fucked up, but it happens, especially in group settings, especially in agency settings. It does play a role. Poppy dismissed my concerns out of hand. That alone would have been bad enough, but when Poppy sent me a Discord call, I assumed that Poppy wanted to discuss my concerns further. I only then realized upon joining the call that Poppy was live on stream. He then proceeded to berate me in front of his entire community for having doubts about the Wrecking Crew and where it was going. He played it off as a joke, but I told him in no uncertain terms that what he was doing was making me uncomfortable. He said he did not care and proceeded to berate further. I should have just left the call, but I tried to talk it out with him because I still looked up to him. The entire event was frankly more than I can handle. Not so great behavior. Everything's going to be all right, you silly slime. I'm just trying to help. Let's plan an event. I know you are. But that won't help. It will make people wonder, why am I here, instead of giving them a reason why I'm here. Okay, let's plan a fun collab. Try to calm the fuck down, just like last time. After that, I simply couldn't bring myself to be a part of the Wrecking Crew anymore. Besides a few more half-hearted attempts to recruit help for some of its newer members, I just couldn't mentally bring myself to be involved with it anymore. I never officially left, but I essentially abandoned my duties and avoided the server. I'll admit that was cowardly of me, and I should have been more honest with Poppy and the crew as a whole about how I felt and what I was doing. To the people of the crew who remain, I'm sorry. You deserved better than me. You deserved better from your team. But most of all, you deserved better from Poppy. That is the final statement. That's the final sentence there. Yeah. The person who founded it should have done a better job of actually being a role model that the people thought he was. He built up this, or he took advantage of people being starstruck with him. And yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Just using people for clout. Other creators. Since I've known him, Poppy has told me many times of creators coming to him, offering him praise, and wanting to know how he does what he does. Each time, Poppy has reacted to these people with utter disgust, and will often immediately start slandering them to everyone in his circle. The reason why is because Poppy is convinced that if you praise him, you're jealous of him. Jealous of him. If you had any success, you are trying to one-up him. He cannot bear the thought of anyone getting one over on him, and is paranoid that everyone around him is. It's why he reacted the way he did to Spoodle and Mythic perceived relationship, and why this document is dropping now. This part I unfortunately have few receipts for, as much of this is something Poppy has expressed in voice calls and in person. Poppy generally prefers to keep his negative contents about other creators in voice chat where they are harder to document, but many people have heard him dismiss and insult other creators out of hand. These are some memories of accounts of him attacking other creators while in VC. For the sake of the parties involved, I will avoid name-dropping other creators in question. I will simply give a best count of his character as I can. While helping manage the Wrecking Crew, Poppy would outright veto several potential members on the basis that they had approached him praising his content and asking how he did things, which he viewed as attempting to use him. Almost all of the people he accused are some earnest, kind-hearted people, some of the most earnest and kind-hearted people on the platform. Poppy hated them for simply wanting to be like him, because he hates competition. At TwitchCon, Poppy and I went to a Vtuber meetup where a large number of Vtubers were talking and hanging out. A ton of really cool content creators were there, both large and small. I pointed out several ones I recognized and asked Poppy if he wanted to come say hi to me. Almost everyone, Poppy refused, claiming he didn't beef with anyone, but they all had beef with him. When half of the community has beef with you, maybe you're the problem. Poppy enjoys posting his workout post videos and progress on Twitter, often proudly flaunting his lift gains. I suggested to Poppy another popular creator who also really loves posting her workout gains on the platform. Poppy proceeded to go into a 20-minute rant about how much he hated this creator and how her posting her gains on Twitter was the most obnoxious thing he'd ever seen. He hated another creator for doing the same thing he did because he was threatened. Oh, it keeps going. It keeps going. The breakup. For months before the breakup, Poppy would pull me into VCs or DM me about his girlfriend Mythic was mistreating him, how she was not affectionate enough for him, or how he was miserable with her. He would repeatedly explain how he was pressuring her to let him come visit her, but Mythic kept making excuses to avoid it. It was clear to me even that Mythic obviously did not want to see him and clearly wasn't comfortable taking the relationship to that level. Get your ass into for reality, Poppy. I'm streaming. Skill issue. Johnny, of all the days, I'm not in the mood as of right now. I'm super tired and my girl's being a jerk. All right. Sorry, man. It's been rough for you. You're good with your blank. You talk with blank. Blank. Nah, just for now. Just me and my girl aren't getting along. She left me today. This was June 26th of 2023. She left me today, but is trying to backpedal, and it's just been so stressful. And I'm like, yo, I've got enough bullshit to deal with. Yeah, I can feel that. Relationships can be stressful, but you've worked it out before. Maybe this is just a rough patch. This went on for months, and I really could not understand why Poppy kept the relationship going when he claimed to be so miserable. To be honest, I personally think Poppy simply couldn't handle the idea of that something he did failed. That this relationship did not work out, and he would rather be miserable than have to admit defeat. I'm kind of seeing where they're coming from with that framing. And that's not what a friend, Poppy says, and that's not what a friend would do. I'm so brokenhearted by the actions of a friend and my ex. This is November, so after they've broken up. Getting cozy with my fucking friend. I'm sorry, Poppy. I blocked them both and you might hear about it, but you saw the proof at how she treated me. It's not drama that will go to the social media. It's just a messy breakup, but you know how that shit goes. Wish we could have stayed friends, but she hurt me too bad. Regardless, this continued until finally Poppy told me that he had blocked Mythic and someone else she was being close to from his community and life. At the time, I didn't realize that this person was my friend Spoodle, someone I had been in a Twitch group with for over a year at that point. Something Poppy knew and simply didn't bother to tell me. It wasn't until later that I learned from Spoodle that he was the one Poppy had kicked out because he was threatened by Mythic and Spoodle's friendship. Now, I didn't go over it. 68, almost nice. I did move past this part, but to give a little context with the Spoodle stuff, where was it? Here is one thing that really spurred it. I think it was. Yes, on Halloween night of 2023, Mythic and Dr. Sakusei were spending time together in VR chat. I was not there. This is Spoodle's statement. I was with my sister for Halloween. Dr. Sakusei posted pictures from their night with Mythic in VR chat. So, you don't see Spoodle, because Spoodle looked like that. Pretty easy to tell. If they start dating, I personally don't care. But that's what Poppy assumed was going on. Poppy assumed that Spoodle was at this event, but being the camera guy or some shit. But yeah, Spoodle was not there, and that's where that's where Poppy's coming from with the getting real close with my friend type bullshit. Getting cozy with my fucking friend. And that's what caused him to block Spoodle and Mythic. At this point, Mythic and Poppy were unofficially broken up, but even then, Spoodle only desired a friendship with Mythic, nothing else. But Poppy's ego could not handle that. The simple idea that this woman who he did not make happy could be happy somewhere else was a threat to him, and he lashed out. At the time, though, I did not truly comprehend any of this. I just assumed it was a messy breakup between two flawed but decent people, and that Poppy was reacting immaturely, but would eventually let it go and things would go back to normal. I was wrong. Okay. Oh, and for what we talked about, I'm walking my own path. This is Poppy. Not saying nasties about anyone. If you're here, nasties, that might find you concerning. I'll be more than happy to give my side and disprove in narratives, but I want to live and let live. I got a quote tweet that's making me happy. You know? Just want to leave him alone and be left alone. Only reason is I caught wind of some not very true things being said. I got you, Poppy. I'm glad that quote tweet making you happy. I tend to not involve myself in drama, so I don't know what being said, Poppy. For the best, my man. This motherfucker got one VTuber whose server I'm in to stop development on a Necrodancer mod because he had the gall to involve him in it. What? I am confused. I am confused. About a month later, Poppy sent me a strange DM after I shared some of my art with him, stating that there were rumors flying around him and that he would be happy to explain his side of the story. I generally don't involve myself in drama and hadn't heard any such rumors about him, so I told him it was cool and chose to ignore it. I was wrong because about a month later, Poppy dropped his doc accusing Mythic of harassment against him and spreading slander of transphobia about him in the community. This was a shock to me. I had seen Poppy let his egos burn bridges with other creators or cause him to lash out against perceived slights, but nothing ever like transphobia. I had always seen Poppy as an actual ally of the LGBTQ community. I was wrong, as the recordings above prove. Still, this left me with a serious problem. I was the founding member of a team that included someone who was being accused of helping spread false accusations of a very serious nature against someone I did not believe would ever say such things. If Spoodle was guilty, I couldn't let him remain in our friend circle, but I wanted to know the truth. I went to Spoodle first to ask about this and if he had any receipts. Spoodle claimed he did, but due to Poppy's legal threat, he would not share them with me until he and Mythic were certain that the threat held no water. I admit I felt somewhat upset at this, that my friend either was not telling me the truth or did not trust me enough to share, when in actuality they were worried about any legal action being taken against them, but now they don't worry about that. I went to Poppy next to ask for specifics of the false accusations. I've noticed, as a lot of you may have, that despite claiming Mythic was slandering him, there was not a single receipt of that slander in Poppy's callout. Did you guys notice that? Because it wasn't there. I assumed that he wanted to protect the creators involved and kept the receipts private, but I had hoped he would be willing to share them with me in a private setting. All I wanted was an adult conversation with what I thought was my friend. If Poppy just had the maturity to give me that, I might have bought into his bullshit again, and been on his side. His ego couldn't even manage that. Instead, all he could do was gaslight and lie to me directly. This is a copy of our final conversation. Poppy, flex emojis, I was thinking about you too. Johnny responds, yeah, thinking of you too. So Poppy, now that you've had a day to process, can I ask privately what exactly Mythic and Spoodle been doing? I know you alluded a lot in your doc, but it's hard for me to parse Aspen's part completely on what happened. Sorry, I know it's not something you want to talk about, but... Excuse me. But I asked for... Shit, where was I? But I asked Spoodle his side of the story and he told me it's not my concern right now, which has me a bit miffed, to be honest. I'm hoping I can get more from you. Whatever said, I will not share under any circumstances. Poppy responds, I'd rather not think of them, period. Johnny, I know, I'm sorry, I just want a clearer picture of what happened. And Poppy replies, but your friends have been caught being being very, very not okay to me, spreading malicious rumors, and this is what happens when you do that. Johnny, yeah, they've been saying you're transphobic, and that's really hard for me to believe. In all the time I've known you, I've never seen a hint of that. Lol, did they share any proof? So I don't think it's true. No. And by the way, ignorance has no merit. And he said, she said. Yeah, no merit. I just want to have faith in your friends. You want to have faith in your friends, go have faith. So pretty fucking damning that those clips did come out. Those audio recordings that we went through. Well, but don't message me about it. That's not what I was doing. I didn't want faith, Poppy. I wanted... Johnny, you're DMing my abusers. Really? Escalating to that. Simple facts, Spoodle doesn't trust me enough to give them to me. Then DMing me. How does that make me feel? Don't say his name, please. I would hope you would appreciate I trust you enough not to take what he says at face value and hear your feelings on it. Like, this is very yikes. It's very trust me. Like, Poppy is giving very trust me, bro. You don't need to check the other side. He's giving me that kind of energy. And I just don't trust people who are like that. If you are confident in what you actually say and believe and what you think, then you're willing to let other people talk, have the floor, because you should be able to properly engage with it. And here you can see him directly lying to me, pretending he had no idea where those allegations came from. All he could offer me was gaslighting, after promising a month earlier he would talk to me about any accusations. He is a liar. Yeah, I don't believe them. I wanted to know the details of that. You literally know as much as I do. So I could confront Spoodle about it because I don't know the details. Remember this, Johnny. Anyone can say, Poppy said this, Poppy said that. No receipts, no credibility. Yeah, I agree. And I literally had a small relationship with a trans man. Yeah, I believe you. So, I'm glad Poppy's had a relationship with the trans man. It does help to have those types of perspectives. But I will say, a common defense for racist people is, I'm not racist, I have a black wife. And then they go and argue in favor of racist things. So, grain of salt. I definitely put some distance between your friends, but I would never tell you who to be friends with. I'm not a manipulator like them. But you know as much as I do, homie. I'd tell you if I knew. I gotta get ready for stream, homie. Johnny responds, do your thing. I think I'm going to just distance myself from both of you for a bit, because honestly, I don't like how either of you treated me here. And yeah, I'm the least hurt, but I'm at least hurt in all this, or I am the least hurt in all this, but I still feel hurt. I'll DM you when I DM you. Love you, buddy, but look inward. This was incredibly disrespectful to me when I'm healing and going back and forth to my abusers. So I will say this. When I get called out again, I expect people I consider to be friends, I would expect them to look into the call out, because obviously they're friends with me. They want to know everything going on. And then I would expect them to come to me and then hear my side of the story. In fact, the last time I got canceled on Twitter, that's what my Discord staff did. They didn't make public posts about it, that I know of anyways. They didn't tag me in any anyways. But they did go into the staff chat in the Discord server and then be like, hey, Briley, what's up with these tweets? And then I gave them my side of the story, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense, actually. So, like, if you're being like, if your friend comes to you and is like, hey, there's this discourse going on involving you. Can I get your side of the story? And then you're like, wow, that's really disrespectful to me when I'm healing. It's literally not. It's literally respectful to go to somebody that's being called out and hear their side of the story. Poppy calling Mythic and Spoodle manipulators and abusers now, which is pretty fucked up in my opinion. No matter how bad I think I once was, this shit at least affirms that I could have definitely have been worse. I mean, yeah, everybody has fucked up in their own ways. We've all done stuff we regret. We've all made mistakes. We've all had to grow and change as people. It's not a bad thing that you have to do it. You may have done bad things in instances, but it doesn't necessarily mean you are currently a bad person, especially if you recognize and feel remorse over the harm caused. That's literally the biggest thing to me. I honestly believe that he was subtly threatening me here if I did not distance myself from Spoodle. I'm sorry to say it almost worked. As angry as I was with Poppy for gaslighting me and refusing to have a conversation, I was also upset with Spoodle. I strongly considered booting him from Da Boys. I'm thankful my other friends calmed me down from my panicked state and pulled me into an adult conversation where Spoodle explained fully what had happened and answered all of our questions while showing the evidence he was able to. This was more than Poppy would give me. Of course he couldn't. He knew he was a liar who had been caught and could only come up with more lies to try and control the situation. I'm sorry I've fallen for his lies for so long. Truly. The truth is, Poppy is a narcissist. Poppy is someone who cannot bear to take a loss in any aspect of life. Not his relationships, his content or work, or his community. He will lie, obfuscate, deflect, blame, and just plain refuse to acknowledge any failings and will always try to convince you he is doing better than he is. I was always aware of this part of him, but over the last year it has gotten worse and worse to the point it has overshadowed his charms. Poppy is not a good person, and I'm sorry it took hearing the horrible things he says in the recordings above for me to finally see past his false charm and accept what I've known in my heart for a long time, but couldn't bring myself to accept. Poppy is a liar and an abuser. Poppy is someone who represents those he sees as resents those he sees as competitors and eagerly abuses and takes advantage of people he sees as beneath him. I'm sorry to say I was one of those people for way too long, and I'm glad to speak out now. If one silver lining has come out of this, it's that this situation has shown me who my real friends are. I'm incredibly grateful for those people and look forward to deepening my relationships with them without any more malign influences. I want to believe that the person who I met when this all started that inspired me wasn't just a lie, that this thing he is now is something that grew out of him. I don't know, I hope so, but either way, I don't need him anymore, and I've got something better than him now. Either way, since he loves to have the final word, I'll give it to him. But before you guys get charged, understand that this is content creation. There will always, quote from Pappy, there will always be assholes who want to see you fail and people who refuse to be held accountable. Poor blank. I've been an asshole my whole life, but I've never tried to frame someone and ruin them because I don't like them. That's just evil. Miscellaneous concerns. Is this still from Johnny's statement? Oh yeah, right. There's a lot more shit to go into. Oh, I don't know if I want to show that on YouTube. Don't worry about that. But yeah, there's even more to this document than I have covered. I've been at this for almost 3.5 hours now. And I think the biggest things have been covered. I think the most important things, I guess, maybe this last little bit, miscellaneous concerns, the changing from 18 plus to 14 plus. Recently, Poppy switched his age rating on his Twitch channel's rules before posting his document. This evidence below shows that it was previously listed as 18 plus prior to this statement. You can see Poppy rules, date December 22nd, 2023. Channel is an 18 plus channel. In the name, December 22nd, 2023. Created December 22nd, 2023. This shows that Poppy's rules listed his channel as 18 plus on December 2023. Between that date and January 3rd, he changed to 14 plus. We don't understand why he's done this, but it's alarming behavior, which is part of why I'm also bringing it up. There is a good reason that Poppy's channel was 18 up until recently. Mature and sexual subject matter will often be depicted or discussed on his channel. Many of his alerts are about things like cum, genitals, sex, etc. This is not to say that TV 14 content does not allow things like this, but it is a strange and concerning change for him to make, considering how careful streamers have to be when having children participating in their content. It raises red flags that Poppy now welcomes viewers under the age of consent when he has adamantly been adult only for his entire career up until now. So, yeah. I'm actually double checked. Did I accidentally show nudity? Oh no, it was censored. Okay, thank God. But yeah, in his now deleted Twitter, he did retweet not safe for work art. He did have a not safe for work tag at the time. And yet he stated his Discord was his only 18 plus platform. So this is it's a very yikes position to go into. And I'm not going to be making any definitive claims regarding this stuff. But it's yikes. It's like mega yikes, giga yikes, super giga yikes even. But yeah, I think we've covered the bulk of this stuff, of what's been happening with Poppy. It's largely it's a case study of how to behave with other people. At least that's how I like to think of it. I don't know. It's so fucky. Literally, this discourse was the first time I actually heard Poppy's name. I wouldn't have known about Poppy at all if he didn't make his document about it first, and then kind of, force people's hands to respond. It's, I don't know. I'm really not 100% sure what else to add to this. It's been a wild one to cover. Thanks for watching. Like it if you like it, dislike if you didn't. Let me know in the comments why you think I'm wrong. Check out the community on Discord. And remember, if you can't be the sharpest tool in the shed, you can always be the hoe. Just want to take a quick second and thank all the people who have joined the channel and become one of Briley's beeps. So, thank you, Joestar.